about Wix docs in particular. Now, one thing I'm not entirely familiar with is like how exactly Wix docs was spreading, but it was spread by a bunch of accounts that you just cannot trace it back much outside of the fact that they are like Snarker related, right? Like they are literally like these are accounts that are typically made specifically for the purpose of like detaching itself from any association, right? Like typically the accounts that spread the doxes are like sock puppet accounts, okay? So yeah, of course you're not going to tie anything back because, well, that's the entire reason like why there are sock puppet accounts in the first place, no?
That seems like a gripe between you and whoever was spreading it, right?
But I'm asking you who did it.
I'll try to figure that out. I'm being honest with you. I don't like. I will absolutely be. What I can tell you is, when stream is over, I will absolutely be able to have an answer within like maybe like an hour, right? I'd have to go. I'd have to do digging and ask around. I actually don't remember. I would be absolutely willing to give you an answer today, and I could almost certainly figure it out. I just don't know right now. Unironically, I have no idea.
Okay. Destiny, you had some questions. Go ahead.
No, I just said I'd hop in if you wanted me. I don't have any questions. What are you guys arguing about in here?
Apparently, someone gave Mr. Aiden my docs after that debate, and he talked about it on stream. He talked about seeing my docs, what it was. He described it accurately, or how it was, at least the portion that was posted in the server that I saw. And I'm just real curious who did that, but he doesn't seem to remember.
I actually don't. What happened was I wanted to figure out whether or not the claim that was made was true. When I figured out that
Wait, someone sent the docs to him directly, I'm guessing? How do you not know where that came from? Wait, I'm so confused. What? Like a whole other account sent him docs information and he can't find it?
the claim was true, and then took corrective action. And in the course of figuring out whether that claim was true, I saw your docs through someone. I don't remember exactly who that was. I asked multiple people about this and had multiple conversations in relation to it. I also had conversations pertaining to other separate allegations unrelated to you in regards to what Dan was claiming about Windy Fox, etc. Because believe it or not,
Soothe and Gaslight and Bribe? Yeah, of course. Oh, sup, Steven.
Wait a second.
Here, we're watching your thing.
Wait a
Yeah, what's
second.
up?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I barely got started. What?
Look at this. Look at this. Are you looking in our DMs?
Yeah, what?
You see our DMs?
Yeah, I am.
Look, show your stream. Tell me I'm wrong.
Dude, wait, what? Wait, who is the guy on the right? I don't even recognize this character. Oh, what? Wait, who is this guy? Am I the only person who doesn't know this person? Who is this movie character? Oh, The Social Network. Okay. Oh, it's the Mark Zuckerberg actor. Okay. Lex Luthor? Lex Luthor is like the last person you should have thought of. Lex Luthor is bald. What are you talking about? Yeah, fair enough. I think this is one of the more accurate ones, actually. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more accurate ones, actually. Okay, all right, cool, thanks.
I don't want to be associated with people that are going around doxing people and have vested interest in getting that out of my community. So in the course that I saw it at the moment, I actually just legitimately
He plays Lex Luthor? Oh, what? I didn't know that.
don't know.
I don't pay attention to actor like people, okay? I really don't. I don't know these actors.
Oh, out of all the people I was talking to, who provided me with that evidence?
Yeah, but the reason my suspicion here is, in my worry, I guess maybe not my suspicion, but my worry is that you're going to take this hour after the stream to find a way to spin this and an answer that won't be honest, but instead be a CYA answer, because I think that you're worried that this
Oh, the Justice movie version. Oh, that's why I didn't reckon. Okay, because you guys, when you guys said Lex Luthor, I was thinking of the new Superman movie, the one that I really, really liked. So when you guys said that it sucked, I was like, what the? That movie sucked? Like, I'm just so confused. No, I have not watched Snyder's versions because fuck that. Yeah,
implicates you in some things, or might
I'm not
implicate
worried.
friends of yours, right? Because again, well, let me ask, once you were given it, did you show it to anyone else in private, right? That,
No.
here's a proof that Wick got docked.
No. Why would
No?
I do that?
Well, because if someone asked you, hey, I would need to see evidence of Wick getting docked, and you're
Base Snyderverse hater? Dude, I just can't get behind the movies, okay? Like, I just don't like Snyder's, like, Snyder is just the Michael Bay of superhero films. Like, I'm good, man.
like, here's some evidence that he got doxed.
Why would I be going around trying to prove your guys' claim for you? My only investment in it was for my own personal action to remove those people from my space, not because I was trying to prove it to other people. I've never disseminated the information I was given. I don't even know if I have.
To remove them for a month or two. These are someone you described as a friend. Let's read the clip. I got it.
Yeah,
Here,
sure.
Share the screen. I'm pretty sure this is it. Everyone got it up? Everyone able to see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, also, from what I remember, I don't think Aiden has ever brought anything to the debate as evidence. Or is that me? Like, I don't think Aiden ever pulled anything up himself, right? Like, he has pulled up things, he has pulled up clips, probably he has pulled up different shit, right? But I think they were like sent to him in the middle of it, 100%, because a lot of the things that they argued about wasn't like the topic of this debate. Like it wasn't the topic of this debate, a lot of the things that they were arguing about. So yeah, so he didn't have time to prep any of it. But at the same time, like he had it on hand specifically because most likely, right? He was handed this information
that was not brought to anyone's attention and seemingly forgotten about. I've not seen any evidence since of this occurring since, right? When this was brought to everybody, when people were made aware of what had happened, everybody took action. Everybody. I unfortunately, despite being friends with the person that posted this PII, not through the Destiny shit, I was friends with him through Spicy or whatever. The person that posted this, I unfortunately had to remove them from my server. I say unfortunately because I don't think this is like a bad person that intended to go and like dox. I think they just saw it.
Just notice the way that they're talking about things. Everybody who is like tangentially related to Steven, who isn't even like a doxer, they're just like existing. Oh, these people are like bad by association. But then when it comes to an actual doxer on their side, right? Just notice the way that they talk about it, right? When it comes to an actual doxer on their side, oh, well, this person isn't that bad. This person is all right, I guess. I can tell that this person is actually a chill person, right? Like the way they talk about it is like way different, right? From any connection of Steven, right? Like you can be like the most, you don't even have to be connected to Steven anyway. You don't even have to be connected to Steven, right? Yeah, because Stardust came on later, but like Stardust was already harassed by this group before any kind of hardcore Steven shit. And even after, you know, Stardust was blocked by Steven, which I already knew before because she told me. Like even then there's nothing. Yeah.
Tweet and linked it. Unfortunately, that's still the dissemination of PII. And they're on our.
Did you pre-watch? I pre-watched the last third of this thing when people were starting to call in. I missed most of it, I think.
Right now, that's obviously something that needs to be moderated. If I know about it, is this person
like, for example, all of this stuff is new,
irrevocably damaged in my eyes? No. If they seem to understand that what they did was wrong, it was from like a year ago, and I probably will allow them back in my server at some point. So long as this behavior is acknowledged to be wrong, they can apologize for it, explain it, and we'll never do it again. Right? It didn't happen in my server. It happened somewhere else.
It's not pre-made.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah, I don't think this is you taking this seriously. I don't. I think that you saying that he didn't intend to dox me. What did he intend to do with this? It was obviously personal information, right? We could at least see.
Connor tried to call in. Yeah, I was surprised that he was even waiting. He was even willing to be in the same waiting room as me. Because you know, I thought that, you know, my condition was contagious or some shit, like by the way that he is describing things.
To that was obvious.
Yeah, it seems like you reposted your PII, which is why
yes.
I removed this
so
from my
when
server.
you say you don't think he intended to dox me, right? What do you mean by that?
And he was rejected. That's do you guys chat in the waiting room? No. Yeah, no, just no. Also, by the way, I think the reason why Connor wants to go in there and confront Steven, my guess is that he probably felt insecure about his viewer count ever since he burned the bridge and backstabbed Steven. And he probably sees that his viewer count is like in the fucking 20s or 30s or some shit like that, because none of the Snarkers are actually interested in politics or philosophy, and no DGGer wants to watch Connor anymore. So therefore, he probably was like, okay, I gotta start snarking now, right? By coming on to Wix in order to you know, confront Steven, because that's one way to regain clout for him, right? That's my guess. That's my guess on what he was doing, right? Like he basically he immolated himself, right? Rip.
I think he thought the photo of you was funny and then just like sent the tweet, but it had your name in it, so that would be your PII, and that wouldn't be okay.
No way did he fall for the 20s or 30s views. I think that his max was like 80s, 70s. I'm not entirely sure. Someone can correct me. But yeah, like yeah, again, like a lot of his viewers left. Simple as. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I'm
A small streamer hater now. SMH, you changed. I'll probably consider myself still a small streamer.
saying anything that's that crazy here, I gotta be honest. I mean, if you feel like something I'm saying is like bad off base, tell me. We can engage with that, but it just seems a little performative.
I think that you would have a far different standard if I found out that Mr. Mooten had posted your PII or someone that you were friends with PII in my server, laughed about it, and I said, oh, that wasn't intentional doxing. I think that you would rightly excoriate.
Sure, so you can make up a scenario, but I've actually been consistent on this. Somebody posted my
I had a lot of people come into my chat saying, "Oh yeah, I was a Connor viewer," and like yeah, and not only that, Connor was also malding about his former viewers coming along to watch me.
My phone number and tried to get me swatted. That person, after significantly apologizing to me, explaining to me what was going through their mind at the time, and seemingly understanding how inappropriate that was, I forgave them. And I haven't, brought this up to them since. I don't really actively associate with them anymore, but if they wanted to, play video games or hang out or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily take issue with that. I've been consistent when it's happened to me, right? I'm a big believer in redemption. I'm a big believer in change. And I don't believe that people are like irrevocably bad.
Again, none of this apply to Steven, right? The way that they put it, it feels as though like all Steven needs to do in order to gain their trust back is to simply apologize, but we all know that's bullshit, right?
So long as there is some understanding of wrongdoing and willingness to change. I've literally said this about Destiny. I've said I would be, if I believe Destiny was genuinely remorseful for shit, I would be fine. I wouldn't be using this against them. I just don't believe that's the case, right? I hold the standard consistently.
Any thoughts?
So what are you guys arguing about right now? Are you talking about the tweet that was posted in that Snark server?
Yeah.
Yes. And apparently someone's been distributing it to at least to Aiden. I don't know who else. And I want to know.
Wait. What was the quote about, or what is he saying about the tweet that was in the Snark server?
He's saying that, well, first of all, he, again, being banned from the Snark server, could not have seen it in the Snark server, so someone had to give it to him. And I'm curious who's passing around my docs. That's my first question, right? Because obviously, he was banned. He couldn't have checked it there. So where did he get it? He says he doesn't remember who gave it to him.
Unironically, as I said before,
But US State is Aiden's accent from? Must be New Jersey. There's no other explanation. Or Rhode Island.
there were a litany of claims being made that I wanted to follow up on and verify to cover my own ass, and I spoke to a myriad of people about various things, and amongst those people, somebody at some point showed it to me. I actually don't remember which specific person it was, but I'm sure whichever of those people it was knew that I wouldn't disseminate it, right? And I didn't. I've never disseminated your dog.
Just by the way, I'm still open to talk to Connor or Aiden, okay? Right? Since Aiden complained that I was in there because I get to have the support of Steven, that's fine, okay? I'm alone right now, all right?
My only interest in verifying that this happened was
thought
to remove a doxer from my community.
Sure. I don't care if they thought you would distribute it or not. They were
Obviously
showing
not.
you my docs. I was not okay with you seeing my docs, or I would have given it to you as evidence, right?
I'm
You
sorry,
knew
I'll try to
that I
erase
was
it
not
from my mind.
okay with you seeing my personal name or information, and someone decided to give it to you, and I want to know who is doing that. Did they only give it to you, or did they give it to other people? Who else did they distribute it to? I'm very curious as the answer to these questions.
Sure, and I'd be happy to look at, as I said before,
Wait, so who was the person? Are you saying somebody else posted it in your community?
No, I would have spoken to people privately about this. I was attempting to follow up with people that were in that server at the time, to verify that this did in fact happen, and you guys weren't making this up. Because I wasn't at the, and to be fair, I understand now knowing the nature of what it was, why evidence couldn't be provided at the time. But obviously, I'm not necessarily going to take you guys at your word for it. Once I found out that happened, my only interest in figuring out that it happened was to take corrective action. And when I did, I took corrective action because I don't condone doxing you, anyone around you, Wick, and it doesn't help me at all. It doesn't serve my purposes. It's a wrong thing to do. I don't want to get doxed, so obviously I don't want to give you guys a justification to do it to me. And once that happened, the person was removed from my server.
What do you think it means that it was posted in that Snark server and nobody really said anything about it? Like nobody seemed to say this is probably not okay, or we shouldn't remove this, or
How are you doing today, Foos? I'm doing fine.
Sure. So it was like, what, 2 weeks into the server? I don't think everyone that was like presently in it when you guys got the logs had been in there at that point. But that shows a degree of negligence and stupidity that I'm not okay with.
when you say negligence and stupidity,
negligence and stupidity,
why not?
Because there should have been enough moderation where a mod that saw that should have removed it, I guess, right?
Well, maybe a mod saw it and they decided not to remove it.
Well, if a mod saw it and decided not to remove it, then they're a bad person. And I would
Sure.
be happy
So then
to
it wouldn't be
disavow.
stupidity or negligence. Why would we assume that over just maliciousness?
So it's the stupidity. So I'm almost certain, knowing how I use Discord, I don't know how many servers you're in. I know I'm in a lot of servers where I personally don't see every single message. I'm sure the vast majority of people in that server never.
This is stupid. All they do is spend all of their time on Discord, okay? I guarantee you, as a fellow loser, all right? Actually, nah, I'm a winner compared to these people, okay? As somebody who spent their entire day on Discord, okay, there are some people, I think Chalogic calls them Discord busybodies, okay? Discord busybodies, all right? Like, yeah, I think that term makes sense. Basically, they spend 24/7 on Discord. They live off of welfare benefits or some shit like that. They wake up in the morning, then they spend all of their socialization on Discord, and then they go to bed, okay? That's literally all they do. All they do is spend 24/7 on Discord, okay? In whatever server it is, in whatever server they're addicted to, right? All they do is wake up, use Discord, and then go to bed, okay? Literally. every single snarker is one of these people. Every one of them, okay? Even when even if they're streaming, they're scrolling through Discord. Like even if they're off stream, they're scrolling through Discord, okay? There are people watching general chat of all of these snarker Discords intently, waiting for some kind of big thing to break, or waiting for some kind of big like delete post or something like that, so then they can screenshot it, okay? And there's like hundreds of these guys, all right? So, you know, yeah, like, no, this is like impossible, right? You're really telling me that nobody saw anything? And for how long exactly, right? Obviously stupid, right?
Saw this instance, so stupidity and negligence would be assumed in the instance of
like these people are like serious contenders for the world's most unemployed individuals, and you're telling me that, you know, they never noticed like someone's fucking docs info in their fucking Snarker Discords. Yeah, like obviously I'm not going to believe
not
that,
having
right?
people on standby that would have seen this occurring and done it. If there was negligence occurring, which there very well could have been, right? Which there very well could have been, I would need to see some evidence of that and then be totally willing to condemn it. You know, as I saw,
nobody reported it. Nobody told Ahmad. Nobody mentioned anything about it.
People just saw.
Well, but then again, why would you assume
that would be negligence, right? If somebody saw, whoever did verifiably see it,
it would be they're supporting the content.
Sorry, malice.
Right?
I meant malice. I'm malice.
Oh, sure, yeah. So people responded to it, right?
People. I don't know if people were responding to it. I only saw the message in of itself.
Well, I think was Rita the one who posted it or responded to
Rita,
it?
It was Rita that posted it.
Yeah, and then QQ laughed at it, right? Were they Ahmad in there at the time?
Did QQ laugh at it? I thought Dan walked that one back.
No, well, I can confirm.
Let me be clear. Hold on. I don't know if they laughed at it. I know they typed LOL. It is possible they didn't laugh in real life.
Well, I'm okay. Obviously, I'm not like I know what you mean, right? If they said I could grant you that, if they just typed LOL in response to it, that wouldn't be okay either, right?
Was Ahmad in there at the time?
I'm not sure.
If multiple people see a thing, like the obvious thing here is that like if multiple people saw the thing, and by the way, this was like you acknowledged the Rita person went searching for this, right? So they either found it on, I don't know, it's hard to keep up with all the doxes of people around me that get posted on Kiwi Farms, but they either went searching for his docs on Kiwi Farms or they went searching on Twitter for this, right? This didn't just pop up.
I guess they could have. I haven't figured. I don't know the exact.
No, they must, right? It's not could have, right? It's not the could have. It is must, right? They must have, right? Because either someone from Aiden's community. Wait, hold on. Is this talking about the snarking server, or is this talking about Aiden's Discord? This is talking about Aiden's Discord, right? Just to be very clear. AG4L, right? Yeah. If this is Aiden's Discord server, yeah, either someone from his server is the one who doxed Wick, or someone from his server got it from some other place, passed down, right? Either way, it is like it's culpable. No, yeah.
Process in which they found it. That could totally be possible as well. If that's true as well, that makes it worse.
Sure. Well, I mean, it must be what happened, right? Because the source of this thing is like 9 years old, I think.
Yeah, it must have came from somewhere, right?
Right. So.
Yeah, if that's how that happened, then yeah, that's bad.
Okay, so we have a thing that was dug up from a long time ago. We've got responses in there that are kind of just like laughing at it, and then nobody ever reported this to any server mods. Nobody mentioned it to anybody. Then it seems like it's probably just like an acceptable norm for that server. No, isn't that like the obvious thing?
Well, I don't know if it would be an acceptable norm if it only happened once, 2 weeks into the server, and then never happened again. And the second it was made aware to like anyone who actually has like a form of like influence, like the main critics, they immediately like took corrective action.
Well, the corrective action only came when it was blown up publicly, right?
I guess, but like for people.
No, not I guess. Yes, the only corrective action happened after we talked about it on Wiki.
Yeah, there's over 1,300 watching, but only 90 likes. Okay, guys, please like the stream. Please like the stream. Okay, please like the stream. Please like the stream. Also, consider donating. Okay, I can't do it without you guys, and I would love to. I would love the support. Okay, the support would be really nice, honestly. So yeah. Also, yeah, donating to the stream would also help a lot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know. Steven doesn't pay me, so
no, that's
actually I think he literally pays me in exposure, right? Technically speaking, yeah, literally, yeah. Aim Paradox, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I'm a guy. Billsteins, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. You guys are so kind and nice. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, that's better.
It's not true. You blowing it up publicly was also the moment we found out about it. When was this presented to any of us in private prior to you blowing it up public?
An M to F that I wouldn't go crazy style on.
Finny, take my money.
Thank you for the $10, Aim.
The public blow up just coincides with us learning about it.
At the very least, Rita and QQ saw it. I don't know who else responded afterwards.
Yes, and anyone who knew about it that didn't take action at that point in time needs to answer for that, because that's not okay, right?
It's not a matter of like anybody who knew about it though, right? Why, like it's obviously just like kind of probably a norm for the server, at least at that time.
What interest do like, for example, like me have?
Okay, just real quick.
Stop, and then go, and then she doesn't really want.
Thank you so much for the $5, Sin.
Just
It's
real
not
quick.
a norm.
Just
It
real
hurts
quick.
us.
I have a gentleman who says he was in the server, saw it happen, and can recount. I don't know if he's being serious, but let's, in the interest of my
No, it's
curiosity, I'll
Kathy.
bring him
Is
on
it
for a moment
Kathy?
and see
Is
what
it
he has to
Kathy?
say.
It's
If
probably
it's
gonna be
bullshit, we'll just
Kathy.
kick him. Hi, you're live.
Oh, it's Duckbringer. Okay, never fucking mind. Oh,
Just
it's,
drink.
it's never mind.
Martini, shaken, not stirred.
Oh, Kathy. Omni. Thank you for the one gifted sub on Kick. I appreciate that. Thank you. Lol. Bye. Man, that's a lot of water. I think I got this from Africa, by the way. Anyway.
Hello. So, I have questions about this because I was in the Snark Left server
Okay.
when this happened. I vaguely recall it. I'm pretty sure I was there. What I remember seeing was the aftermath. I never saw the actual docs, and I was
I think I started watching from here. And then I stopped watching somewhere in the middle and then came back. I forgot.
told by people in the server that it was the PV leak. So it
Okay,
was like
not that, to be
considered.
clear.
Yeah,
Maybe just
and I
wait.
trust you when you say that. So that's what I'm wondering because that's what I was told. So like I was a member of the Snark Left server. I came into the server and I saw people talking about the docs. I never remember seeing the docs. And when I asked about it, I was told what it now seems like a bogus excuse that it was the PV docs, which in a lot of people's opinion at the time was like a low stakes kind of, oh, this was already leaked by this many people. So it's like just people disseminating like publicly sourced information, like, which is obviously still bad.
Ron, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you.
Obviously still not great. And by the way, Aiden, like what I want to ask to you, Aiden, is do you think that if somebody sources a bunch of publicly available information, gathers it, and then makes that person a target with their language, either moralizing language or something like that, do you think that's a dox?
Yeah, it depends on, so it can be, right? The qualifier for me would be whether or not the publicly available information was like whether or not it was clear to the person whom the information belonged to that this link was established and they themselves either established that link.
I'm so proud of Duck, dude. I'm so proud of Duck. She's come a long way, okay? All right? That's why you just need to watch more streams, okay? She's come a long way.
Or permitted it, right? So it wouldn't be a dox. It wouldn't be a dox for you to post that my name is Aiden because I identify
See, this is character
by that name.
development,
I've given
okay?
you guys that
And
information
with Leo
voluntarily.
Convoy's wife, was this stuff that like they consented to posting, or was this stuff that was just shared around by other people before you shared?
Yes. So Lio Convoy is a Lio Convoy Facebook account. He voluntarily, in the course of debates, gave out their address, wife's last name, her occupation, age, etc. And then through her public Facebook account, which is still
I just got off stimulant meds.
public, it ended up
What?
the Lio Convoy account and her account interacted with one another regularly. So Lio's present friend, this guy called Gilded Poo, disseminated her face from the Facebook in a YouTube video with like 20,000 views years before I knew who either of these people were. And then after that point,
Right.
all this information had since been widely distributed, and they took no corrective action to remove or obscure
Just real
it.
quick, Duck, who
Yeah.
told you that it was the PV leak?
I don't remember. If I had to
People
guess,
don't
I
remember these
people
things.
active in the chat.
Why don't
Yeah.
you remember? Like this annoys me.
Why don't I? No, I'm saying that it was. I'm just telling you that I'm like I don't have the logs, right? Like the only people in this conversation that have the logs, presumably right now, are Destiny. So he can go back and verify, and he can actually tell us all who the person was. If I had to guess, I would think it was somebody who was involved in that exchange. So probably Rita or QQ. But I don't want to pin a like I don't remember. That's all the only reason I'm being like evasive with saying I don't remember. You know.
It did seem to be the common thing said at the time.
I legit don't remember. That's
And,
fine.
I
I believe you. I just don't believe Aiden.
think Queeman and Justical and a bunch of other people were saying like, oh, it was just the PV thing. It was the PV thing. So
Right.
that seemed to be the lie that they were going. So it really might not even matter who said it to her. That was just the lie.
And
that
that's what
they
I
had
believed at the
discovered.
time. Yeah, that's like basically when I saw that was like discussed in the server at the time. I think I even might have said something like, "What is it? What the fuck was leaked?" Because that would like determine how I would react and how much condemnation I would give people.
Weren't you threatening to dox Psycho?
What does that have to do
No,
with anything?
no.
Wait, don't even
You
think
remember
about it.
Aiden?
Don't
What
even
is
debate.
wait
Don't even
wait
debate.
doesn't no what is wait doesn't
Do you care about a VC fight between Baby Peach and Kelly Jean? Yeah, send it my way.
Aiden, you were
bring
part
up-
of
what's
that
her bring up
call.
my
Hold on.
She just,
We can
I'm
have
sorry,
hold on. We can have that
she just brought-
conversation
she just
another
brought
day.
up
We're
a
not
past
having that
doxing act-
conversation
she
today.
just okay, I'm just
I
so
don't know
clear,
her.
just
I
so
don't
we're
know
clear,
anything about
just
her.
so we're
It's
clear,
possible.
she
I
just
will
brought up
disavow
You find the generic male face attractive in any capacity? No.
everything
doxing-
she is and
Okay,
all it was
I know.
and
She
will ever be.
just
I don't
brought
know.
up-
Hey,
Stop.
past-
Stop.
Why did this?
Stop.
Why did nobody?
Stop.
Why didn't?
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
So
So
Today
Aiden,
we're
you
talking.
asked me
Stop.
the
You
course of
too.
that call
You
if it was-
too.
if it was a
You
joke.
too. What we're talking about today, right, is the Snark server, the debate that Aiden had with Destiny, and who is still distributing my docs. Those are the three things that I am curious about.
Well,
and
then
that
why didn't
I
you
would like
interrupt
to
her?
talk
Well, then
about.
why didn't you interrupt her when she was bringing up an unrelated allegation of doxing?
I
against
brought her
me
on
and a
because
completely
she
separate-
said
Yeah.
she said that she was there when my docs was.
Yeah.
I'll give a little bit of context about Duck. Wait, I thought you had a recording. You just sent me the invite to Melting Pot. Okay, never mind. Whatever. Yeah, just let me know, okay? Okay, anyway. So the backstory behind Duckbringer, okay? I think this is what I told Steven, okay? Duckbringer is an ex-snarker. She still greatly dislikes Destiny, but she's been watching me for quite some time now, I think. And I think that I think that you know, like no one has to like Destiny. It's fine. You're allowed to hate Destiny. I don't give a fuck. Okay. But what matters is like whether or not you're like participating in this snarking, right? And yeah, I think it's only in retrospect that she saw that you know, that a lot of the things that were going around her was pretty fucked. I think the reason why she left is because of the massive sexism in the Snarker communities. Like there is a lot of women, just to be very clear, there is a lot of women in the Snark space, okay? But they are not there because it's a open space that is pro-woman. The reason why the women are there and they're in the Snark space is because the women themselves are incredibly misogynistic and like very mean girl-like. And they're among the biggest snarkers, I would argue. So yeah, like because they love the tea, they love to chat, they like to gossip about Steven. So yeah, that's not, yeah, again, the reason that they're there is not because of feminism or anything. It's because they're like actually incredibly misogynistic. But yeah. This one start sure. But also like another thing is I think this is what brought Duckbringer directly to me. Is that I have been told that Ryo Kittenhouse, who is Jay Stelk's editor, has sent Duckbringer to gay up me, essentially. Find some way to sneak into my DMs to hit on me in order for me to reveal personal private info or some shit like that, or to infiltrate my community and stuff like that. Yeah, but it turns out that Duckbringer actually liked our community and liked my content. So yeah, he didn't tell me to hit on you. I just did that for love of the game. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yeah, right. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, she was in here for a gay op, okay? Yeah, okay.
That's
Discussed, and I wanted to see what she had to say.
Yeah, but it's interesting to notice there was no moderation at that point when she went off topic to try to bring up an accusation against me in an unrelated matter. Yet when I do it, that's when we want to interrupt and take issue with it. I think it's like clear. I think it's like
I asked
obvious.
you about the Leo Convoy stuff because I want you to. I want to get a better understanding of what you think when you what you mean when you say doxing.
Well, and maybe I was just
I
talking about
personally believe that what you
mean.
did was still disseminating a dox in like a way that was irresponsible and could have possibly caused harm to the party.
Did you get this argument from me? I'm not sure where you got this argument, but this sounds similar to my argument where I say that if you spread something and you provide justification or hatred of that person, and you know, their docs is posted, or you create an environment in which it is so toxic to the point where like someone feels as though they're justified to put something there, that in of itself is as bad as doxing or worse, right? That's my opinion, but yeah. Oh, I don't think I've ever said that on stream, that part on stream before, on the or worse, but like I think I believe that. Yeah. No, me and Aiden go way back arguing this doxing definition, but I didn't want to take up too much time. Gotcha. I see.
First, I could actually totally agree with you that it was irresponsible for sure. I just don't think it was doxing.
Bro, what do you want me to say? I'm gay. Like, hello? What do you want me to say? I'm scared by women. All right. What else?
I don't think
how do you think I discovered Steven in the first place? No woman.
that like this whole like, oh, it's only doxing when it's this hyper specific definition.
Well,
I don't think that's really like benefiting anybody in this discussion, because the problem is that we're invoking harassment on people that are uninvolved parties in this, right?
You consider
so even
doxing,
it doesn't matter how you got the information, you still decided to harass an uninvolved party.
Don't you consider it doxing when people post your face that you streamed with your camera on?
No, I don't.
You accuse Spicy Chat in the debate with me.
No, I've never accused that. I've never. I don't know what you're talking about, Aiden.
Because there was a second.
Okay, thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling in.
I think available.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, just so we're clear, that did happen. It's publicly available, but
fair enough. I don't know. I just find this is my problem. Well, can I just ask you this, Aiden? Do you now believe or trust Destiny more than you did before the debate, after having found out that he was simply correct and you were incorrect in the nature of the service?
On the specific,
he'll never concede to that, dude. That you might as well just ask him, Aiden. Can you just confirm that you're retarded? You might as well just said that. Like,
claim that there was wrongdoing occurring in that server, obviously, because I've seen evidence that wrongdoing was occurring in that server.
Can you just concede that you're a dumbass?
So since he was correct on that, does it, in your mind, make it more likely that his other claims might also be correct? Does the chance of that increase in your mind at all?
Sort of. It's going to depend on the claim, because I obviously know that Destiny is personally connected to this story and has vested interest in making a lot of the people involved look bad, and just with that fact in mind. And it's the same thing, by the way, with the which is why I wasn't immediately accepting of like claims that were being made against Destiny in regards to the fucking whatever her name is, the Brit shit or whatever, right? I believe
It's shit.
I will be like, I'll take it on a claim by claim basis, and I'll try to figure out whether or not it's like a case of, is he attempting to do some narrative control to flip something to make the opposition look bad, or could there be like something genuinely there? And there could be, right? In this instance, there was, especially when it pertained to you. I'd have to take it on a claim by claim basis, but my standard is going to be, I'm going to need some evidence before I just accept a claim at face value. And I have that with everybody, right? I have that with everybody. Even when it's claims that work against you guys, all I ask for is evidence. Believe it or not, I don't want the people around you to get doxxed, because it's not a good thing to do, and it looks bad for me. And if that was occurring and I was told about it and provide evidence for it, I am totally willing to take corrective action.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What is confusing about that?
I think that, again, I suspect, and I can't prove, that you seem to be very eager and willing to take people's word for it when they say that no bad actions are occurring here. But when you were presented with, first of all, when I was presented with evidence and you simply did not trust my word, and then later on, right, when more evidence came out and things like that, have you switched your position on JStalk on this?
Have I switched my position in regards to what specifically?
Sure, to his actions in regards to Destiny and their little beef.
So I haven't even begun to try to dive into that because it's just super convoluted. But if I haven't made a claim that he either did or didn't do something, I don't really know. Just for context, I only recently reestablished communication with this guy. I've heard allegations that he was distributing CP, and then I looked into that. I didn't. I've heard like a defense, and I've heard a counterclaim. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, if you're claiming that some significant wrongdoing is occurring, I'd be happy to look into it. But I'm not like close to JStalk or anything. We don't really talk.
Okay.
I'm curious, what's like the consensus
I call cap on that. I don't believe that, but
opinion on Doobie right now?
I don't really, I don't know. In regards to the minor's role in the politics or whatever, I think that's a fucking horrible idea.
Well, not just the minor's role, but there's the minor's role, the fact that he says he's made multiple copies of CP to help the FBI, that he lets pedos into the server, that they have a 16-year-old mod that they've met up with in real life, that he's okay with coming in and talking sexually about things in the server that minors are looking at. Like,
yeah, that's yeah, that's a completely responsible moderation. Or I don't know Doobie like at all. I spoke to this guy once, like 4 years ago on a Prime Case panel. I'm not like as like you have.
Remember, resistance cells don't have to, like, terrorist cells don't have to learn the existence of other members in other terrorist cells, okay? All they know is that the leader of that particular cell tells everyone to stick together, okay? All right? This is why this form of internet guerrilla warfare works, okay? It's because everyone is disconnected, so even though one group gets captured or one group is compromised, the rest of the group can simply just get away scot-free, okay? This is the whole reason why IRL, when it comes to like the Viet Cong or any other guerrilla warfare people, when one resistance cell gets captured, that doesn't compromise the whole body of the resistance, okay? Or anything like that. Yeah. So, for example, Aiden can look really bad in this debate, but then everyone among the Snarkers can just simply say, well, you know, I'm not Aiden, right? So, yeah, like this doesn't show me to be bad in any way, right? But yeah, this is the tactic that they use, okay? Disassociation, association, disassociation, right? But at the end of the day, right, like if you torture a resistance cell member about names, they'll say, I don't know, I genuinely do not know, I genuinely do not know. And you know what? They probably genuinely do not know, okay? Like, I don't blame you for not knowing, okay? But that's how it works, right? The information is only at the top, right? The resistance cell leader, right, is probably the person with all the names, right, and all the links. But they are the ones that are actively malicious, and they have like a cyanide pill in their mouth, okay? So the moment they get captured, they'll just bite down on it, and because they're crazy, they'll like literally Kermit, so no information gets out, okay? Like, this is literally some like guerrilla warfare type shit, where it could entirely be possible where Aiden, you know, legitimately does not know who Doobie is, does not know much about Doobie, right? Again, Aiden's from the commentary community. That kind of makes sense, right? But at the same time, he knows that Doobie is a member of another resistance cell, right? And they're united in a goal of destroying Steven. So therefore, they're going to think to themselves, okay, well, this guy is still technically on my team. I'm going to back him up, right? So yeah, that is what's going on, okay? Anyway.
To understand, I'm not like this locked in. I'm like anti.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're. I'm not expecting you. I'm not so much expecting you to have a strong opinion. I'm curious, why do you think that like nobody else
was
in that circle seems
donating
to be talking
right
about
after
it at
this?
all?
I know.
Well, probably because they believe that your description, and probably because they believe that your description is maybe inaccurate. I would imagine, or that you're trying to.
He hasn't contested any of the description I just gave. Literally, he said half the things, or all the things actually that I've tweeted out.
Well, has Quayman or JStalk ever like?
You know how Mike Johnson always says like, oh yeah, I don't know about that, but that sounds bad. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, I mean, at some point, okay, is it that he genuinely does not know anything about that, or is he saying it to lie, right? And I think that the fact that you're trying to guess that is what's hard, right? Like for example, it could be genuine that, you know, someone doesn't know anybody else or someone hasn't heard of that situation. But if you intermix it between like half lies and half truths, if you mix the same statement in half lies and half truth, like you double dip the chip in half lies, half truth, then no one can tell whether or not you're actually telling the truth there. The idea isn't that you're a liar, so you're always a liar. Okay, the idea is to confuse you enough to the point where guessing wastes brain power or makes you question your sanity or to confuse the enemy, right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? This is why all good strategies is always 50% truth, 50% lies, okay? Half truth, half lies. Because by inserting a bit of truth, you are introducing some degree of trust, right, that everybody knows about. But then if you insert the rest of it in lies, well, now you can fill in the rest of the context, right, with your own story. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So again, these are classic bad faith tactics, okay? Yeah.
Come out and like endorse the notion of like having minors in the politics server?
No, but they just don't address it. They won't talk about it, and they just fix it on me.
Well, I mean, if asked about it and they refuse, if they're asked about it directly and refuse to talk about it, then I'll absolutely call them for that because I think it's a horrible idea to have minors in
Sort of makes sense. Okay, close enough.
your servers, right?
Okay. Well, not just minors, but also minors, and the fact that the server owner admits that there are in there. He's okay with them hunting minors so that he can collect CSAM to give to the FBI to turn these people in. And
Wait.
these are all kinds of duties made. Yeah.
He said he's he said he's okay with being in the server to hunt minors
because it allows him to help. You're laughing, but like, yeah, I know.
Well, it's just like a crazy. I mean,
it is crazy. I do agree with you. No, I'm actually not making fun of you. It is crazy, but he's literally said this because it allows him to hunt some of these guys and then turn them into the FBI and everything. There's an explicit audio of him talking about how like he's okay with like having discussions about, or it depends on the context, but it can be okay for them to have discussions about sexual activity while there are minors in the voice chat talking as well. Like, yeah, these are all things he said.
True. We listened to that, right?
I'm not accusing you of not looking into it. I'm just curious, like, assuming everything I'm saying is true or half of it is true, and I've tweeted out like tons of clips of all this stuff, and Doobie hasn't denied any of it. It's kind of weird that just and Queen and these guys like don't even talk about it, right?
Well, okay. So if what you're saying is exactly as it occurred, then yes, I would venture to guess that if I was to look into it, there would probably be some dispute in your description, which they would probably like provide as justification why they're not talking about that.
So
listen to that argument and then accept it based
for $10, just real quick. For $10, Parallax says Steven is lying through his teeth right now. Doobie has never said this.
Said which?
Parallax is Wick's mod, and Parallax also fucking hates me, okay? I think that since Steven endorsed me, I think that Parallax specifically probably was like malding this entire time or this entire arc. So I think that Parallax may have developed some anti-fan tendencies, okay? When I had a brief beef with Parallax back then, like maybe 3 years ago, we had a little spat. I think that Parallax basically he basically probably was malding over me for like 3 years, I think maybe. But yeah, this guy is a total fucking winker. You know, he was also like he is also like actually retarded. Like I'm genuinely not sure about this guy, but like I don't know. I think he's like special. You know, he's a little special. Like let's just put it like that. Okay.
Thing. I can probably find it on my Twitter if you want. I'll also be right. 1 second.
I don't know. He's getting it. If you want to come on, Parrot.
Did you dye your hair ends or am I schizo? No, my hair is natural, okay? I didn't do anything to my hair. Thanks for asking, though.
Just jump backstage and we can talk about it. But these are the claims.
Is Doobie allowed to call in? Because someone in my chat is like implying that he might not be allowed in here. Is that true?
Well, it depends who. Like I banned some people. Who is it?
No, I'm saying would Doobie himself be allowed to come in here?
That's up to for this discussion. I would.
The lamp makes you look fiery. I know. That's why I like it.
Would be okay with it.
Okay. Well,
but again, I now have me and Doobie are not friends, to be clear. I think that
I know, but if the guy's having like serious claims made about him, I think he's right.
I would not have an issue if Doobie wanted to answer to this and he wanted to jump backstage and be pulled in. Fair enough. I would not object.
Aiden was groomed in the politics server. He did drink underage to talk about gutting married women. I don't think that's in the politics server. I don't think he was ever in there. Were they? I could be wrong, but like I don't think Aiden came from the commentary community. That's why it makes sense that he knows who Stardust is. But that's a separate community from Doobie's politics.
Do you think that do you also think it's weird that Justical is like so afraid of touching the cherry stuff that he?
There's an audio of it. Yeah, but that's not. But no. But that's not in the politics server. That's not in the politics server.
It's like willing to cede any conversation, debate, like challenge Dan and then backed out from it. What do you think he's hiding there, or why do you think he has that position on that?
Because I think he's too personally connected on that front, obviously, and to talk about it would probably involve like getting into personal details about her or himself that are probably unideal for him to talk about. I agree that I'm somebody of the belief that you should always show up for the debate, which is why I came to this conversation.
Kind of weird that he was so okay digging into so many personal details around me and having Cherry on his stream while lying about dating her for months. Isn't that kind of not fair?
I mean, I think that would probably be a double standard, obviously, right?
Kind of misleading too, right?
If he said that he hadn't been dating her and he was, that would be misleading. If what you're saying is true, I would agree with your descriptive statements. The only contention would be, obviously I haven't looked into it, so I'm not accepting that as it's 100% true. But if it is, then I think that would be an accurate. Probably it would be accurate to describe the scenario you've just laid out as misleading. The only contention would be I just want to figure out if that happened.
Sure.
Interesting. I am very curious to see who will say what after this. This has been an interesting conversation. You also said, you said, do you still stand by the claim that you won the debate? Is that still something that you think that has happened, given all the things we've talked about today, all the things that have happened since the debate, all the discourse that has gone on? Do you still stand by your statement here that you were successful in beating Destiny?
So from the position, yes, I felt as though at that point in time, Destiny failed to provide evidence that that accurately demonstrated his claim. Evidence was provided to you personally that was not given to me that demonstrated the claim.
It was like obviously a very gay topic to debate about. It's such a stupid topic. Why would you even debate about this? It's so stupid. Like, get me out of here, man. I don't know. I think it's so stupid to debate this topic. What? Like, no one's gonna debate whether or not they won a debate. Okay, if you debate whether or not you're gonna win a debate, chances are you lost. Okay, like if you have to debate this, chances are you lost. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, okay? But again, if you have to debate this, chances are you lost.
But in the course of that debate, it was not presented. When I was given that evidence after the fact, I revised my position. But from the claim that there was not enough evidence to justify the descriptive statement being made, I believe I was correct in that, and that wasn't disputed in its entirety at the time. Yeah.
Okay, guess we'll let people decide for themselves. Did you have anything that you wanted to talk to me or Destiny about, that you wanted to question us or have me answer for? Or do you think that if,
just curious, do you think that if Justical ever made the statement, I will literally never fuck somebody from this community in a million years, book it and cancel me if I ever fail to live up to this? If Justical had made that, if he had made that statement while secretly dating Cherry, while platforming her allegations against me and saying that they had no romantic relationships, that would be pretty fucked, right?
Yeah, and I've called on that one. So I've seen the exact message you're referring to. I gave J Stock shit for the Cherry stuff. That was part of the reason. I was kind of poking fun at that at the time in an unrelated conversation we were having. That was part of the reason we initially felt I've given him shit over that, right? I absolutely believe that, like you said, that statement isn't true, and it would be retarded to say something like that and misleading.
Foodshops, hello.
Hello, hi.
You had something to say? Go ahead.
Yes. So Aiden, you said that I was running from you.
Well, because you were.
What is the topic? What's the topic? Just to be very clear, okay, I don't think I've watched before this. I think I've only watched like maybe since Duckbringer came on. So fuck, I may have derailed this thing. Fuck. Yeah. You want to talk about?
I don't even remember what I wanted to debate you on at the time. I just remember you were making a claim about me on stream, and I wanted to debate you on it.
Okay, so just to be very clear, okay, I have debated people who are far smarter than you, okay, and even they ran away. All right, so it's not. Just to be very clear, I debated Aiden, I think 2 times. Two or 3 times at this point, okay? And he is still like spamming my DMs about like debating me. Okay, at first I was like right click ignore on Discord, and then eventually down the line, because he was still spamming me, I blocked him. Okay, and then later on I forgot that I blocked him, so it's like, okay, all right, but like if you actually want a debate, that's fine, all right, but at least I don't think Dickers was spamming like you did. Okay, like you're so hungry for any crumb of debate. Like not that. Wow. It's not about that, it's that you like I already debated you 2 times. Okay, like what else do you want to talk about? I guess that we haven't.
Well, you're making. I don't remember exactly. So obviously, I said this week. It's weird that you're coming in now. Well, Destiny's here to follow up on that debate because I'd asked you how long ago did I ask you to debate me? I don't remember exactly what I wanted to debate.
Just ignore him. Just ignore him. Okay. If he says anything, I'll shut him up. Okay.
No. I'm not saying he's doing. I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong right now. I'm saying it's just like I think it's a little cowardly for you to not take the offer up at the time and only now show up when he's here. I think that's like a little bit cowardly.
Nothing to do with that. Again, I debated him when Steven was not here, okay, on my own stream before this, okay?
Right.
Well, it's because Wick told me. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, Aiden's here.
Well, okay, so you didn't know that I was trying to debate you at the time?
Okay, would you consider it cowardly?
Can you answer my question?
You twice?
Can you answer my question?
Why would you consider it cowardly? All I had to do was show him to be fair, I banned him. But that was after, but that was after, like, he was like spamming me and shit, I think. I don't remember the exact reason why I banned him, but
Question? Can you answer my question? Did you know that I wanted to debate you at the time?
Are we gonna debate about the topic you want to talk about?
Hold on, both of you. If you guys are just gonna argue about another debate that has nothing to do with this, I don't particularly give a shit. I don't care. Do you have anything for Aiden on this specific topic that we're talking about tonight?
Nope. Outside of the fact that I think I just feel bad for Aiden, just primarily because it just feels like he's being used as a pawn by people like Queeman and J-Stelk. I find it kind of sad that Queeman and J-Stelk wouldn't debate Steven after that one, especially like Chud Logic blowout, right? And I think that Aiden, I think you're just being used.
Is Queeman refusing a debate with Steven? I don't.
Well, Queeman could do right now.
No, I mean, Steven has said many times.
What Queeman could do right now, if he wanted, and someone could DM him, right? And I'm sure people will. He could jump backstage right now in my Discord, and I will pull him in, and he can have a chat with Destiny and I. That is something that he could do. But Foodshops, if you don't have anything else, thank you for calling in.
I like the way he was subtly laying down an assumption that Destiny would defend you unquestionably too. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? But to be fair, okay, like it's not like that has not happened before, because I think that when it comes to Steven, he has defended me in terms of against Connor, and I think against people in the DG community who did not like me. Yeah. Nope, nothing else. Yeah, all right.
And we'll talk to you later. Okay.
So just to be very clear, okay, this is what I blocked him over. This is why he said I was running, all right? It's like, what? Like, this guy is like spamming my chat, bro. Look, like this isn't even texting, okay? It's like double texting and triple texting and quadruple texting. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. What the fuck? Yeah, of course. I'm good, man. Like, you're not gonna get a debate by begging. Like, what the fuck, dude? Anyway, yeah. And that's why, like, yeah, fuck that. Because if you're not gonna, like, if you're gonna be just, like, fucking spamming, like, a gay lord like this, yeah, you're not gonna get your debate. Sorry. Like, I don't want to reward annoying behavior. I'm not gonna reward annoying behavior. I'm sorry. Okay, that's just not how it works. Anyway.
But J-Stalk too, right? What's up, Dustin?
Oh, guys, nowhere near any of this. I'm just curious. Have you seen all the Doobie things?
No, I've seen.
Wait, no, I'm asking. Why I was asking Wick. Have you seen the Doobie things?
I haven't. My big beef with Doobie is he's broken my trust a few times. In the most recent time, I do believe that he used what should have been a private thing as basically a human shield to protect him from criticism. In a way that I found reprehensible.
Okay, wait, I'm curious. Can we just run through a few things? I'm just curious what the.
Hello?
Wait, you'll come back.
Yeah, it might have been his internet.
I want to know what the WhickTV audience thinks of some of these things. I feel like you're kind of crazy, but maybe I'm just exaggerating.
Yeah, sorry, my shit just crashed.
Foodshops, how are you so well informed on all this drama? I'm actually impressed on your recall. Lack of employment.
Okay, give me a second. I'll pull them up, and hopefully people can read these. So
no, but seriously, it's not lack of employment. It's because I spent a lot of time in this space, and yeah, I just simply spent a lot of time in this space, and in addition, I have been a target by the Snarkers, and I have been in, like, my entire background have been intertwined with the Snarkers, like, pretty intimately. So yeah, to the point where I'm pretty sure I recall better than the Snarkers at this point at some things. But yeah, rip.
So where is this from? Do we have context here?
I think they're just things that he's posted in his server.
Okay. Doobie says, I don't think I've ever verbally asked for consent from a woman. Thorfinn, yo, big Doobie fan. Vulcan, the Spanish Civil War is never really considered the starting point. Okay, who cares? Doobie says, and I've been with a lot of women. I hate listening to trans people speak. They either sound like fucked up, breathy, drug addict hookers or else.
Jesus.
I think that's mean, but I don't think that's necessarily.
Yeah. Next one. Go ahead.
Give me a second. Boom, boom. Okay. Lethal Lance says, I think the question was, would you allow to describe anal sex in the presence of a minor? And your answer was, it depends. Doobie says, that wasn't the question, shake my head. I think discussing sex around them is fine in some contexts. We're talking about primarily high school students right now. They've gone through sex ed. Anal sex? Anal cavity? Anal? Doobie says, as long as it isn't too graphic or flirty, I think it's fine. Would depend on the specific combo though.
Yeah, if you have been watching my channel, this isn't anything new. Basically, we've reviewed so much content of Doobie just straight up admitting that he would allow, like, PDFs on the server to talk to kids about sex things. Okay, if you need me to explain why that is bad, I shouldn't have to explain that, right? Anyway.
Here's a next one.
Right. Shouldn't have to explain that. I don't. Okay.
This is North says, did taking screenshots of the evidence mean you had CSAM on your computer? Doobie says, while I was reporting it, sure. This is why I mentioned the Gideon thing yesterday. Sometimes you do need to make copies of it to report it. Valorfax says, not the one for sending your own photos at your own consent. And Doobie says, then you delete all the copies. Obviously, I'll show you.
Next one.
Okay. This is from his admin chat. It looks like in the politics Discord server. Parth says, yes, I did. Of course, I can do that. What do you mean? Because I told them everyone to join the discussion and reach common ground before detaining. And when I wrote that, I actually didn't even look into that case. It was due to unnecessary unexplained detains that was previously dealt with. Parth says, I have a few stuff to say on that. I feel like it doesn't really address what I said, but I'll try to respond after I complete this thing quickly. Doobie says, take your time, sir. I'm curious though.
Oops, sorry.
If we found out that this guy lived in a country with an age of consent of 14, and he was talking to a 15-year-old from another server sexually in DMs, would you say he should be banned? Or
did someone send this stuff to Connor? Actually, I am actually a little bit disappointed that Connor, like, Destiny wouldn't have Connor on. I know that Connor is clout farming. I know that Connor is probably seeing his view count go down ever since burning the bridge, and that's he's like letting it get to his head or some shit like that. So he's just basically a fucking clout hungry loser. But essentially speaking, right? If Steven is like basically showing these like fucking doobie logs, right? Does Connor even like what exactly is Connor's like fucking defense of this? What the fuck, right? If he burned the bridge for Connor, right? If he burned the bridge, if Connor burnt the bridge allegedly because he tried, what does this have to? Why'd you keep Doobie around? It makes no sense.
Do you think we shouldn't ban because there's no connection to this server? Knives says, I don't know why you're acting like Terry doesn't know any better. Do literal.
And then she doesn't really want me to stop though.
Too employed to know the backstory on a lot of this stuff. Thanks.
Oh yeah, no problem. XVN. Thanks.
He sends thousands of DMs to minors and spends retarded amounts of money on e-girl who are openly taking advantage of him. It's not healthy for this dude to be on the server. Knives also, in response to the I'm curious though question of Doobie, says, I'm pretty sure Discord is strict that sexual conversations cannot occur with individuals under 18. Doobie says,
the stream Steven called Connor a kid diddler or some insult like that. What was that about? I'm assuming it's for the same reason I call people a kid diddler as an insult. The reason is because
an M to F that I wouldn't go crazy style on.
Can you blame Connor? He's a cop. He's not used to dealing with the consequences of his actions.
Okay, thanks, Connor. No, sorry. I mean, thanks, Visual. Sorry, I called you Connor. My bad. Thanks for 10. Yeah, thanks. Oh, right. Okay, so the reason why people the reason why people like me, okay, could use kid diddler as an insult is because it's because once somebody goes all out against you, once somebody goes like all the way balls to the wall, like blood sports mode, like they're trying to destroy you and they're trying to like make you lose your career and lose your streaming job or whatever the fuck, then at that point you can just lie about them in every single way. Like basically you can justify lying about them, you can justify like slandering them, because no one will blame you. No one will blame you for like going balls to the wall trying to protect your job, right? No one will blame you, because it's totally understandable why you would like go all the way if the other person is also levying allegations back of like calling you a PDF, calling you a predator, calling you like, oh yeah, you're going after like mentally ill women, right? Because once Connor crosses that threshold, once Connor crosses that line, then yeah, you don't need to hold anything back either, right? Then fuck it, who cares? They're just words, right?
Yeah, but if it's happening elsewhere, why would it be on us to enforce that?
Like you don't have to play high, right? You don't have to play high. You can go low, okay? Like you're allowed to go at their level, right? Because a lot of the insults that they like make at you is them expecting you to go high, right? By you not defending yourself and you just essentially saying, well, I'm above this stuff, right? So then they can just slander you like however much they want, right? But yeah, like especially if Connor is like aligned with the Snarkers, you don't want to give him that wiggle room, right? You want to be able to target him in some way, right? But anyway,
next one.
So no, I don't think it's definitely not true, but it's like at this point it's a justified action, no?
There was a 16-year-old girl at the mod team meetup because she was also a mod.
What is he? Is he referring to his server there?
Yes.
Okay.
Next, quick kind of a weird thing, issue we had with a person on that server. Tell me what you think he's doing there.
You could have just said this, fuck off. He could have just said that, but that's not as effective as saying kid diddler, okay? And we all know that, all right?
So Doobie says, fingers crossed, I dug into Lucian a bit and narrowed him down to like 75 students. Excuse me, Fleek says, 75 students? Fuck does that mean? Doobie says, I found his college in the section that houses freshmen and singles. So I know he's in one of 2 dorms. I looked through the clubs at the school because he'd mentioned a club in his major, and they're like 75%
Oh yeah, this is like Doobie digging up PII, right?
Asian. So if it's actually white, he's one of 100 students. And that's with like bare minimum info. Excuse me, Fleek says, give me his info so I can dox him next, JK.
Then last thing, just a quick audio thing, so we don't have the out of context name. Let it play for like 3 minutes, and you decide you want to keep it.
Actually, like molesting children, right? Because I think that person would.
Legit question, where did this useful idiot Aiden come from and get involved in this? He was a teenager when he got into the commentary space, I'm assuming. And then he probably watched Destiny, watched other people in the commentary space. And then when he became an adult and so on, now he's like 21. 21, sorry. Now that he's 21, yeah, he is an anti-fan now, okay? But yeah,
be dangerous to have on the server. But I mean somebody who has like an attraction to children. Because I
You don't think
consider
that would be
pedophilia
dangerous
to
to have on?
potentially. But I think that is like it's a paraphilia, right? So it's a mental illness basically. We consider it to be a mental illness, and these people don't choose to have it. They develop that way.
Question for that.
I think it'd be very interesting to like. I mean, I know a couple of people who are. And who are going to like therapy and been going to therapy for years to try to like.
So you're saying you allow?
It's sort of like conversion therapy, where they try to shift their attraction upwards.
so confused. Where's that joining sound coming from?
Over like years of therapy and like conditioning. It's very, very difficult, and it's usually not successful.
Oh, I think that was like Stardust. In here,
So you'd allow on the
That's
server?
interesting.
You'd allow on the
A
server?
question to that. No, you've already asked that question. I want to ask a question. If there was like, you were allowed to
Oh, sorry, that's from the clip here.
allow within the server, would you get rid of the minors
so
then
confused.
to protect them, or would you keep the minors within the server also?
Yeah, no, I still allow them.
What kind of fucking conversation did I join?
Like the
Wait,
reality
so-
is that most people
Server
who molest
politics.
children are not like
Wait,
they're,
so
like, sexual opportunists.
Doobie, you would allow?
I mean, somebody has a primary attraction to children, right? So when they are thinking about things you're attracted to, children are first, right? That's a. But if somebody is attracted to adult women primarily, but if the opportunity to fuck with a 15-year-old comes up, they're gonna do it. That person's just a sexual opportunist, and that's the majority of child molesters, right? So it's kind of
Still a lot of people in
Wait,
that.
I mean, that's not wrong, okay? Like everything Doobie is saying here is correct, right? But these are all arguments that I have made before. So the real question is, why is it that when Doobie makes these arguments, he's fine, but when other people make these same arguments, but they're on Steven's side, they're bad, right? It's not about whether or not Doobie is correct or not here. It's about the double standards, right?
So
this
Doobie,
exists, just having adults on the platform.
Wait, let me ask this real
I don't
quick.
know.
Let me ask this real quick. Doobie, you would allow adults and minors in the server together?
Okay, now that's ridiculous. I would never. Fuck no. That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Mate, you need
The reality is
Jesus, man.
that up to
So just to be very clear, Doobie is worse actually. All right. On the whole thing where PDFs are opportunists most of the time and they don't actually have an intrinsic attraction to kids or whatever the fuck. Sure, I agree with that. Okay, because statistically it is true from the FBI, by the way. However, Doobie wants worse. Okay, this is something I do not have. Okay, Doobie thinks that these self-admitted PDFs should be allowed to go talk to kids on their own about sex. Fuck that. All right. It's insane. How would you go after? Like, what exactly is the reason why you go after me, but not Doobie? Oh wait, it must be because I defend Steven, right?
up to like 5% of the male population has like pedophilic tendencies, right? And that's just like the tendencies. I'm not talking about sexual opportunists. I'm sure
Bro,
more of the male
don't
population
project your
is sexual
fucking
opportunists
tendencies
who would
onto
fuck
the
a
camera.
15-year-old if
Is
they had
this
the
all, or do
opportunity
we?
to, right?
Are you being dead ass right now?
Yeah, 100%.
No,
You said who
Yeah,
wouldn't
don't
fuck a
project your
15-year-old?
creepy fetishes onto the whole general populace, my guy. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like,
Do it.
dude,
None of
that's 5%.
guys, keep it in
5%,
perspective.
there's
None of
the-
you guys own a giant server where everyone's expected to talk about different opinions and get along. He's, I'm sure, developed this position because of the fact that he runs a server like this.
So did I hear this correctly? And maybe you guys can, maybe Aiden, since you're kind of like the neutral party here. Doobie says that he would allow and minors in the server together. That's one thing I heard. That seems, it's weird because people give me shit for having Foodshops in the server, right?
True,
even though I have
true alert, true and 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 true. And
no minors in my server, and if we find a minor in my server, we ban it.
And true.
Do they have a similar problem?
And true.
Here, I'm very curious.
And true.
Well, personally, I mean,
I actually didn't hear this part. I actually didn't hear this specific part. Okay, so fuck yeah.
I would. If this is all the context, assuming this is all the context, and it seems like this last part was in context, I think this is like hyper debate bro autism to the point where you're like trying to logically reason through wild.
Hyper debate bro autism from people who are trying to define doxing, harassing, targeting, and swatting targets. Hello, like oh yeah, this is like debate bro autism. Like these are the same people who are trying to argue that Nathan isn't a target of the of the swatting because Steven was the target of the swatting. Because Steven was the target of the swatting, technically Steven's kid is not a target. That's like these are the same people right now saying, okay, well, this shit is pedantic. What?
Reckless decisions, and I think this is obviously like a fucking horrible thing to even risk. So yeah,
fuck?
I mean, you're not gonna find any defenses from me on that one, right? Yeah.
Do you think, I'm just curious because everybody made a big deal about me having child Willie calling the FBI was the right decision and all this, based on the fact that he himself said, Doobie said that he makes copies of child. We don't actually know if he gives any of that to the FBI, right? Do you think it would be valid to make a report about him?
If you, I mean, I guess if you had if you
just say yes, okay? I just don't know why. I just don't know why the fuck like he wouldn't. You know, I think I know why. Okay, it's because the snarker in him is probably like sexually, by the way, the snarker in him, okay, or snarkers, okay, plural, is probably like going like, you shouldn't concede on anything. You shouldn't concede on anything. You had to fight on every time. You had to fight it. You had to fight it. Just by the way, this person was going like, just answer the question. Just answer the question. This is the same person who goes, just answer the question. Just answer the question. Like, and now he's like trying to dodge, right?
And of course, he literally said, I make copies of it, yes, before deleting it.
Know?
He said that exactly.
Oh,
right?
well.
I guess I don't know if I even defended Willie Mac reporting you to the FBI.
No, I'm not saying you defended or anything. I'm just saying that, like, for whatever evidence people think there is of me, and if they thought I was just coping about being in a place or whatever, there's no pressure on Doobie. He just freely offered that he makes copies of child from minors on his server that are being hunted by the that he allows to hunt there.
I guess to remain consistent on it, but in his instance, right, the context would indicate he's probably volunteering this information because, I mean, he's probably volunteering this information because he doesn't actually think that he's doing anything wrong, when in reality, obviously, we know that possession of CSAM is illegal.
Oh, like here, now intent matters, but why didn't these guys, again, question the way that he analyzes things, not the substance of what he's talking about, okay? Again, question the way that he's analyzing things, not the material in which he's talking about, okay? Gonna repeat that, all right? Now, with that being said, okay, just notice how, okay, well, when it comes to Doobie, it's about intent, right? It's about the intent of why he screenshots CP, right? But when it comes to Steven, oh, wait, no, it's that he was distributing revenge corn, right? It's that he is maliciously trying to slander the woman that he is like with or whatever the heck. Or does that make sense? Like the way that he is analyzing Steven versus Doobie is two entirely different things, all right? The substance of the matter does not matter, okay? It doesn't matter to these people. You have to analyze the way that they interpret it, right?
And if he was now admitting to being in possession of it, that is illegal, right? I don't know if he seems to indicate that he's not presently in possession because he's saying he just used it to make the reports, but that would still be illegal, right? At that point, it's like, but if you're reporting, like it seems to indicate that he doesn't even have it on his shit anymore, so I don't know what that would get you, but I mean, I guess remain consistent, yeah.
I think it's also kind of weird that on the server, there's literally a tag for minors. There's like 1,900 people that are tagged.
Yeah, so I've had that, so I got, I don't know if I have to reach, I rejoined the server recently to make sure, to check if I still had it. I was given that tag. I'm not obviously, I'm not a minor, but I know I look a little younger or whatever, so I had that tag. I know I can vouch from personal experience that the only thing that tag got me was annoyance because I joined and people wouldn't be willing to interact with me, and I'm pretty sure I was removed from at least one VC because I suspected being a minor, and I had to like prove I wasn't, I guess, and I didn't want to have to go send people my fucking ID or anything. So yeah, but I don't, that's obviously, yeah, there's no reason to have minors in spaces like that, right? I mean, especially it gets just a liability, right?
So I'm being told, Destiny.
Wait, before you're being told something, you had a mod earlier, I think it was a mod, Parallax, that donated $10 and said, Steven is lying through his teeth right now. Doobie has never said this. What did I lie about?
Good question. Now, I will say, and Parallax told me to tell you this, that he, let me read it directly, that he's not jumping on a stream
Also, I know that Parallax. I know for a fact that Parallax, like again, he loves to jump on shit back then, 3 years ago when he wants to shit on me. Okay, but I'm glad that now suddenly all of a sudden he's being very withdrawn and cowardly and whatever. Oh, now it's time to distance and disavow and blah blah blah, right? Like, yeah, you don't actually believe that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be saying any of this in the first place, right? Just to be very clear.
You after a DGGer implied he was going to dox me, and I'm quoting, going to dox me, then held a 90-minute argument about me in politics, and that is on Destin.
Wait, why would that matter? If they were going to dox him, wouldn't they just say, well, I'll dox... Wait, hold on. If that DGGer said, assuming this is even a DGGer, right? If they had said, well, I'm going to dox Doobie if he doesn't show up and debate Destiny, does that mean he would suddenly debate me? That's like the dumbest argument you could ever give for anything, right?
I'm telling you what he said to tell you that...
Oh, sure, I know. I'm just illustrating how absurd that argument is, right?
Wait, is that the Parallax guy saying he personally was threatened to be doxed, or is he talking about Doobie threatening to be doxed?
No, he's saying that he was, and he a couple days ago, and he did...
Bro, demod that motherfucker and
send me screenshots of someone named...
That guy, listen, that Parallax guy is bad news, okay? Because I guess Wick is still having Parallax around as a mod. I'm guessing Parallax is probably the reason why I'm not allowed in the Wick server. Like I basically have the quarantine label, which means that I don't have access to general chat. But it's kind of ironic, okay? I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of funny that Doobie has full access to Wick server, but I don't. And Doobie is like 500 times worse than me. What?
Reverse knee and saying, this is what he said. He said, yeah, and this is reverse knee saying it. He says, yeah, and when others are aware, you're going to have to find a new hobby, big boy. I'm going to love watching you flail for a real job, you fat fucking loser. These are the things that he said. And this is what Parallax told me that he felt was a doxing threat under the context that the conversation.
Based and justified, okay? Fuck this guy.
Took place in. And he's telling me that this is why he won't jump on a stream with you, because he is worried that he's going to be doxed if he does.
I mean, if he was still worried about the doxing thing, one, didn't I make these threats to him personally like a year ago? And didn't he still continue to go from server to server arguing why it would be fair game to dox my 14-year-old kid?
No, this is Parallax, not Doobie. Hold on. No, Doobie. Parallax never did that. This is...
Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I thought that Parallax was relaying a message from
No,
Doobie
this is Parallax
to...
personally.
That's them saying, they're independently retarded. I thought they were conveying somebody else's retardation.
Yeah, nope. That's his statement, not...
Is it not? Do you not think it's fair for people to reasonably be concerned about getting doxxed by someone from your community if they were to get in a debate with you because it would blow their name up within your community itself? Like you'd brought up clips of me prior to me talking to you, but I never got like that much shit over those clips. It wasn't until I actually like went and spoke to you that I started getting.
Yeah, I mean, they should be reasonably scared, but that's only because, like, it's the snarkers that are doxing them, right? Like, that's why. Like, it's kind of like a mafia boss going like, well, you wouldn't want your legs broken, right? Like, shouldn't people be afraid of associating with you because, like, everyone around you seems to have their kneecaps broken, and they're the ones, like holding the wrench like this. It's like, aren't you afraid that people around you might have their kneecaps broken? Yum, 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 yum. Right? Like, that's the way that, like, they're talking,
people
right?
like threaten to contact my family. And I understand that you
can
control...
you show Wick? Can you convey to Wick one of those threats right now?
Yeah, one of the threats made against me.
No. You said people were threatening to contact your family.
Yes. So, for example, I think it was someone saying I'm a and my brother.
Yeah, it's protection money, right? Extortion type shit.
Is about to get a call about me and my school. This person only started replying to me after I had gone out and debated you.
Wait, where is this at?
On X. I can link it to Wick.
I'm just curious to look through.
Do you mind if I show people, like if I put it on stream or no?
Sure.
Once you DM it to me, I haven't gotten to DM. Once you DM it to me, we can do that.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just fuck my here it is. My shit got fucked up.
This is the account he said was threatening to dox him, by the way. Definitely not a gay op though. Is this better not be an SFW? Retweets Sneeko Clipper, retweets Asmongold, retweets Dan Clancy. Yeah, this is not a Destiny fan in any way. What?
Alright, control.
Pull that tweet up? Yeah, sure. Like I can do that, but this is the account. I think the original tweet was deleted or something, but like this is the account. This is what the account is, okay? Oh shit, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, like this is a gay op, man. This is a person who hates Steven. This is a person who hates Steven, man. Like the only thing that they hate is also Hassan, it seems. They hate Hassan and Steven, which means that they're an Asmongold fan. Look at this. Retweeting Asmongold, okay? Yeah, no, it's not a gay op. This is just a Groiper type shit. Like this is just an Aspen fan. Whatever.
There it is.
Okay, pull it up.
This is just the most recent one, by the way. I mean, obviously, I'm not blaming you. I don't think you can. I mean, obviously, I think calling me fair game kind of leaves it open to interpretation. But I'm only.
What the fuck is a gay op? A gay op is when me and your mom.
So this was sent 16 hours ago. You said, "Is this true?" It's reply to this person making a poll on whether you're not a doxer or not. Apparently, 90% of the people think you are.
No, they had one like and 50 votes. That whole account is operated by AI.
Well, it has 17 likes in this, but fair enough. Batman Turd says that you're a yes, and your brother is about to get a call about you and your school.
Yes, and then in another reply, I can find that one as well. He was accusing me of working with Doobie to distribute CSAM.
Okay, and this is someone with 21 followers. Okay.
Yeah, and this Denal person had also said they were going to contact my family. So, and you've retweeted.
Now, Denal is interesting, okay? Just to be very clear, I'm pretty sure, so Denal watches my content, okay? They do watch my content. However, I believe that Denal didn't originally come from Destiny's audience. This person, I think, is an ex-commentary community member. I think that's what this person is. But then they're on Twitter pretending to be AI, okay? All right? Pretending to be like AI, whatever the fuck. But it's very clear to me that they're not, okay? Because no AI is this sophisticated, in my opinion. So, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but like, yeah.
By the way, I'm not saying
this Denal person.
So you could have predicted that, but
wait, hold on, which person?
Denal.
Oh, wait, that person said they were going to contact your family?
Yeah, they were going to let my grandma or something know about my drama and shit or whatever, and my grandma in Florida or some shit. It was like I'd have to go look for the specific tweet. I don't have that up right now.
Well, let me just ask you, Destiny, if that's true, if this Denal person is threatening to contact his family, are you going to do anything about it or what?
Is Denal even? I mean, the question would be: is Denal even connected to DG? Right? Like, isn't that the right question to ask?
I mean, I don't generally condone that kind of behavior. At this point, I am a little bit indifferent to it, just because I've had to deal with it for so long, and none of these other communities ever really want to take a strong stance against it. Just curious, if you had to guess just by looking at who this person follows, like where this guy's mind is, I'm so curious. I just looked this account up, and this is just like the account. This is the first one that was linked. I didn't plan this. I don't know anything about anything or whatever, but I'm just curious.
So this is at Batman Turd's following list. He follows me. Wow.
Oh, sorry. Batman Turd is not Denal. But yeah.
Follows Queeman, Gokanuru, Windy Fox, David.
I'm now pretty sure Denal is Starbase, which means they came from Perry's community, and J-Stocks before is Paragon. I know nothing about Starbase. That is one person I do not know anything about. I asked Denal if he was Starbased, and he said, no, I'm not Starbased. Which, I mean, of course, right?
Sax. Fan. This is Birdie, Cook Sucks. I don't know who these people are.
Do you not think do you not think if he's like, some of his replies are about like me distributing CSAM with this Doobie guy who I've only spoken to once on a Prime Case panel like 4 years ago or some shit, right? If that was the broader claims, is it not fair to probably assume he's coming from this like broader space? I don't think either of you are responsible for this. I'm not bringing this up to accuse you of wrongdoing. The reason I'm bringing this up is to substantiate why others might have some reasonable fear that if they got into a conversation, they'd potentially be a risk of being doxxed.
My curiosity is like, how do you even know this guy's a DGG guy? Is it?
Well,
not
the talking
point. He's not necessarily saying he's a DGG. He's just saying that if you engage in a certain level of conversation with me, then that means that people might rightfully be afraid of having a conversation with me, right? Because they're going to get harassed by people. Yeah,
but then again, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because it is people like Aiden who provide the justification necessary for doxers to go after Steven and everybody associated to him, right? So again, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because like essentially there has to be a propaganda network around the person in order to like justify their doxing actions, right? But yeah, like everyone can play dumb, everyone can pretend they don't know each other, but yeah, like we can keep playing these games forever, right?
Yeah. Which I actually think that's actually fair to point out.
Yeah.
But then I would say that that's kind of been my entire issue with this community for a long time, is that this is the exact type of behavior that they engage in. I linked that other tweet. I would be surprised if this is actually a fan of mine. It might be a bot. It might be one of the
he says this
people.
Isn't real moron Jew.
Especially given
you can't. There's a million like fucking 20 follower accounts that have been popping up. So, like obviously we don't know who's coming from where, but that's why I'm not blaming anyone for this. I'm just saying like this is a hot situation. Obviously, people on both sides are getting fucked with, and it seems like the people or the bots or whoever that are expressing willingness to fuck people only came about after I spoke to you. Not like saying that you. I'm just saying that.
But that's the whole thing that I think Destiny has been pointing out is that if you engage with him, people will target you.
Aiden is really good at playing dumb, my friend.
They did me. They did Polly. They did Stardust. They did others, right? And it looks like that they're doing it to you
Yeah,
too.
but if this person's accusing Doobie of like disseminating CSAM, it's
I would imagine
venture
that
to
this
guess.
guy's a false flag. I'd imagine that this guy is someone who's a shit stirrer, who's trying to. Well, we know they do this. We know they go and pretend to be DGGers. They go into other communities. They start shit, right? And they try to paint DGG as the worst possible. We know they do this.
Well, is DGG even anti-doxing? I don't think that's true.
I have been in touch with the mods.
Wait,
and
so
I've
just to be clear, my community does not do the doxing. There's a reason why it's posted from my account and my account only, and we don't really have a community of doing it in my chat. It doesn't really happen. There's a reason why when people accuse my community of doing it, it's just like random people from Twitter and stuff. If it's just me.
So people from your community, to your knowledge, have not doxed.
No. I mean, sometimes I know there've been like big streams in the past where people will post a thing like in YouTube chat, but we ban it when we see it. But no, my community doesn't have. That's just not what we do in my community. It's just not a thing.
And to be clear, I have been contacted, or I've been in contact with mods in the DGG Reddit and also the DGG Discord server, and they have told me if I know of or see anyone who is engaged in doxing, to tell them, and that they will take care of it. They will ban that person.
Wait, just to be clear, is anyone disputing that? And I know you have like your own respective justifications for it or whatever. Can we agree that reposting or disseminating JStock's face is dox info, right? Even if you think it's justified, that would probably be dox info.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would never do it.
Oh, I mean, I guess if you want to say that, then that probably exists as a somewhat of a norm, yeah.
Yeah, so people in your community have continuously spread that like everywhere. So I feel like there probably is like some level of like acceptance of doxing in the broader community.
For just a face, yeah, but nobody else.
That would be that. Well, yeah, but that would be dox info if the face wasn't
we can
like.
Call it dox info, but it's substantial. This is different. It's not like if you talk to me, my community is going to start doxing you. It's logistical, right?
Yeah, but meanwhile for Steven, is that you just have to talk to Steven and then, they'll dox you. Right?
Sure, I know you claim justice. I just thought the original claim was that your
Still not,
community
look, still not good, but yes, it's a fundamentally different thing than anyone who talks to Destiny is now going to be doxed by DGG if they have a fight with him or disagree with him strongly.
Sure. I don't think this guy's from my community.
Yeah, he's this is continuously this is 2 tweets that I've shown in a row that I've been sent. He obviously has an anti-Zionism problem, it looks like. Oh.
Yeah.
What do you think about like Queeman?
Yeah, because they're an Asmongold fan, right? Like it kind of makes sense. Like why? Yeah, I mean that's just supplemental evidence of them being an Asmongold fan, right? Yeah, like it makes sense.
And then the obsessive coverage over. I actually don't know how old you are. I don't mean that as like a slight.
I'm 21.
Okay, were you around like a couple years ago when they were obsessively covering Stardust?
I was not. I didn't.
Bro, when you're 21, you should be out banging chicks, okay? You shouldn't be like online at home, like trying to snark on people older than 30, okay? Like this is obviously very gay, right?
No Queeman at that point. I was actually I was friendly with Stardust at that point. She helped me with my homework and shit. I wasn't like I wasn't around for that. I don't know like it seems like the shit with Stardust was just like them being like really fucking
go
mean
do
to
some
her,
studying, kid.
which at some level I was like initially sympathetic, but then I realized that like
mean and racist and like making fun of her deceased father and like attacking her relationship.
Yeah, I've called people out. Where I disagree with this side on is like I believe, for example, I'm somebody that believes that like edgy humor is okay, but I believe in like audience, time, place, etc. There's no reason to be making fun of somebody's dead father, and when we're trying to make like a serious argument, all that does is makes us A, look horrible to fuck.
He was a COVID teen. He's cooked. No kidding.
Is, right? B, obviously it's just like a sort of a dick move to do, but I'm not super sympathetic to her herself because it seems like she's demonstrated a total willingness to engage in the shit flinging. She told a trans woman that she wasn't like a real woman and shit, and she was acting like she doesn't behave like a woman, or she said she's transphobic to that specific individual because the two of them were like disputing. It seems like she's totally.
Who was the other person? Just curious.
Oh, it was Jalen.
Do you remember the context?
Okay, now this, oh my god, all of these points are so stupid, man. All of these points are, oh my god, dude, all of these points are so fucking stupid. And why? Because I was there. I was there, Gandalf. I was there when men fell 5,000 years ago, okay? Like...
Of these statements?
So Jalen is So Jalen is like somebody that, like, Jalen is like a mental...
So basically, Jalen is a lolcow, okay? Jalen is a lolcow that has existed in the commentary space. They blew up because they were covering, I think it was, they covered Dream. Okay, they covered Dream Drama, and that's what made them blew up into like 300,000 plus subscribers. And basically, Jalen kind of became a lolcow after some point, and then crashed out and whatever, started like calling everyone the hard R, and then saying a bunch of crazy shit. Okay, basically, it just seems pretty fucking clear that Jalen was just simply not in a good place, like in life, and that's why they were crashing out and stuff. However, at the same time, they were still going. Now, I was there. I was there when Stardust essentially confronted Jalen. Okay, I was in their chat, and I remember that Stardust did misgender Jalen, but this was like after Jalen like was like throwing around the hard R, doing crazy shit. It's like, yeah, like that makes sense. Why? And then afterwards, Jalen cried. Jalen cried after that, and essentially the anti-fans used this event as a justification to go after Stardust even more. Okay, now like I'm not here to like defend yes or no on that. Me personally, I kind of support it. Okay, I remember gaslighting Stardust in not gaslighting because I'm not gaslighting. It's my actual beliefs. But I remember being there supporting Stardust for that, just mainly because, in my opinion, if someone is going balls to the wall with you, I just see no reason not to do it back to them. Okay, like again, right? You should match their energy. If they are going crazy on you, then you should go crazy on them back, right? Yeah, like at that point, who cares, right? Yeah, so but then the anti-fans somehow have a huge like fucking boner for protecting trans women all of a sudden, which I mean historically they have never protected trans women in any way. They fucking hate women, they hate trans people in general. Meanwhile, at the same time, they can't get a girlfriend, and the girlfriends that they do want, like ideally want, are transgender. Okay, so like again, like we have a bunch of mentally ill incel chasers essentially, like just looking for any reason to dunk on Stardust, an Indian woman, because you know they're miserable with their lives, so then they have to find someone else to dunk on, someone else that they can be like readily racist to without being called out for it. And that's like Indian people, right? Like Indian people are like the easy go-to, like, oh yeah, the racism pass, right? Everybody's okay with being racist towards Indian people because nobody likes them on the internet ever, like or even across social media or IRL. Okay, like I'm pretty sure like I wouldn't be surprised if Indian people were some of the most discriminated against people like in the United States right now. Okay, like I don't even fucking know. All right, or across the internet in general, because it's just socially acceptable to be racist towards them. But like yeah, so basically they get to avoid scrutiny. They get to avoid a lot of scrutiny by going after Stardust, and you know what? It worked. Okay, for 4 to 5 years. Okay, for 4 to 5 years at this point, maybe they have essentially avoided the scrutiny of their racism towards Stardust. And basically nobody cared about Stardust because I don't even think DGG liked Stardust. I don't even think DGG liked Stardust at the time. Yeah, and there was already a lot of like racism floating around back then as well. So you know, that did not help either. Okay, I have to tell the truth. Okay, I have to tell the truth. Okay, and that is a part of the truth, so that's why I'm telling it. Okay, so yeah.
Ill, like YouTuber or whatever that like has regularly like crashed out.
Now, for the record, okay, I'm always going to be defending Stardust, based off of the Snarkers and stuff like that. I'll always defend her based off of that. All right. However, okay, to be fair, we did have a personal falling out, okay, around 1 to 2 years ago, okay, where essentially Stardust joined the Snarkers on me, against me, okay, at some point, and in my opinion, obviously she shouldn't have done that. It kind of burnt our bridge at the time, but yeah. That's how everything came to be. Okay, she was patient zero for the Snarkers. Yes, she is. But I believe that we are good now. Okay, I believe that we are good now. Okay, like between me and Stardust, just mainly because we have talked about the situations that have went down between us and the Snarkers, and I think that we both see the situation for what it is now. So we kind of went like, well, oh wow, we kind of been turned against each other because the Snarkers really wanted to see us fight and shit, right? Like that's my realization at the very least, is that, oh yeah, well we've done a lot of like crazy shit like that is bad because the Snarkers seem to have been gaslighting us and and encouraging us and like fucking like egging us on to do crazy shit because like they just want to do crazy, they just want us to do crazy shit so then they can watch it on their own stream from Queeman, so then Queeman can cover us as if like we're like animals from a zoo, right? But now you see the tables are reversed now. Okay, now I'm the one covering the Snarkers as if they are animals in a zoo. Okay, now it's a completely different, you know, power dynamic. Okay, and I'm more than happy, okay, to reciprocate, okay, their efforts over the past few years. Okay, but yeah, anyway, that's my mini backstory
out and had these like outbursts of anger. Had one in a conversation with me, and this person is very clearly unwell or whatever. But in the course of that, while like beefing with them and like it was like a call or something, Stardust had like made a comment akin to like they don't behave like a woman and they're gonna misgender them specifically, or they're transphobic to them specifically, because this person had like these like outbursts of anger and shit, which I think is like that's probably just like transphobic.
Sure. What is the justification for Queeman and them to obsessively cover Stardust?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I'm just gonna let this continue playing, but 137.51, okay? 137.51. But yeah, like me and Stardust. Stardust was patient 0. Eldrazi might have been one that came after Stardust. I'm not sure if it's like target 2. I'm not sure if Eldrazi was target 2 or target 3. I forgot. Oh no, Mr. Girl and Lav Lun were definitely targets of people like Chud. Chud was definitely like covering the Mr. Girl shit, like frantically covering it. So like they were also a target of the Snarkers in a way. But I'm pretty sure I was like patient 6 or 7 at that point.
So Jalen is yeah. So Jalen is like somebody that like Jalen's like a mentally ill like YouTuber or whatever that like has regularly like crashed out and had these like outbursts of anger. Had one in a conversation with me, and this person is very clearly unwell or whatever. But in the course of that, while like beefing with them and like it was like a call or something, Stardust had like made a comment akin to like they don't behave like a woman and they're gonna misgender them specifically, or they're transphobic to them specifically, because this person had like these like outbursts of anger and shit, which I think is like that's probably just like transphobic.
Sure. What is the justification for Queeman and them to obsessively cover Stardust from like a racist and like vitriolically personal perspective, just because Stardust has that beef with somebody else? Do you think that like Queeman was like defensively attacking Stardust on behalf of all trans people on behalf of Jalen?
No, I'm not speaking. I'm explaining why I don't think the whole like crying about like people being mean to her thing is necessarily so valid. I don't know if that's what, I don't think that was Queeman's justification at the time. I'd have to look into. I don't know his exact coverage of her. In regards to like the going after her for like ethnicity shit, I called it out when I saw it at the time. I don't like agree with that. I think that I think it's okay to joke about things like racism, but I think you should be doing it with people you're friendly with who understand that it's a joke, not people you're legitimately beefing with, because then at that point I think it's in poor taste.
Do you think that they're just joking when they do it, or do you think it's like a legitimate, like all the DGGs, all the anti-Indian humor slurs that Queeman and Jessica and all them engage in? Do you think it's just memes, or?
I don't think Queeman or Jay Stock unironically hate Indians. No. I think that
you can be racist and not necessarily hate people, right?
Sure. I guess so. Like, I guess what form of racist do you think they are?
I'll be right back.
They just think it's funny to.
Is this Stardust replying to Hunter Biden, trying to get Hunter Biden's attention? Yo, that would be so fucking dope.
To make racist jokes, to make racist humor. If they see somebody of a certain race and they know that they can hit them on that point, then they just kind of like dig in on that. They would be as racist as much as Stardust would be transphobic, at least, right?
I said Stardust comment was transphobic.
Wait, Baby Peach and Kelly Jean are having a brawl, and Princess is a orbiter of Darius, I think.
Happened? Yeah. I posted it, and you deleted it from your server, and then you got doxxed, or you didn't, and then everyone got doxxed. But it's my fault that I didn't give a shit that Jacob and Zoe were getting doxed threats. Not true.
Okay, all right. Well, this snark never ends, I guess.
And she's being transphobic with that individual, but sure, I actually could have. You know what? Yeah, I'd agree. But I'd say exactly like that.
Guys, the snark never ends. Okay, all right. There's no need to rush. Okay, there's plenty to chew through.
That's why I guess I wouldn't necessarily care about her crying when it happened to her, because she seems to be totally fine with like edgy shit flinging in poor taste. She told, to my knowledge, I don't have the log on me, so I guess you can dispute if you want. She told apparently somebody in Spicy Chat back when she was in it by the name of Mantis, who is a evidently like user that has been made.
Now it's really funny. Okay, it's really funny that Aiden here brings up Mantis, okay, because Stardust brings up later, Mantis's nudes were being passed around the Snarkers. The Snarkers were getting pictures of Mantis's nudes getting passed around in private, okay? Why? Because Tomfoolery Show accidentally leaked his girlfriend's nudes at the time. So Mantis is Tomfoolery Show's girlfriend, and they are still together to this day, pretty sure. And basically Tomfoolery accidentally leaked Mantis's nudes, all right? And then Tom decided to lie in order to hide the fact that they were Mantis's nudes, which in my opinion is a justifiable lie, because I could understand why lying is okay, especially when it's someone else's nudes that you just accidentally leaked, right? So Mantis was like one of the targets of the Snarkers, okay? And she was a pretty big target for them, okay? And I joined in on the snarking of that when I was there at the time, okay? So yeah, I don't defend myself. I don't defend myself when it comes to that, okay? Because again, like I've been very clear. I've been very clear on this like 50 trillion times, but you know, I'm a former snarker, okay? I'm a former snarker. All right, so yeah, that's who I snarked, okay? I snarked Mantis and Tomfoolery Show, okay? That's my major snark targets back in the day.
Fun of a lot, whatever, 2 and shit. So it's like
And you know what? To this day, they still hate me. Okay, to this day, they still hate me. And honestly, I can't blame them. But yeah, like obviously, like I'm not gonna defend it, right? Well, all right. Anyway,
for me, I don't really like for like edgy shit flinging. I just don't necessarily have a whole lot of sympathy when you've evidently engaged in it repeatedly yourself.
Is there anybody that Queen and Logistical don't engage in edgy shit flinging with?
Probably.
She got the text from Delia. I wish.
Couldn't name someone off the like
I
on Earth.
wish.
Yeah, probably. I just don't know who.
Do you think that when it came to like personal attacks or mining or digging in for personal info or whatever stuff, do you think that Gistical and Queeman, or do you think that I started that between all of us?
In regards to the two of you, I think your personal, like when you say they were digging into your personal, I actually don't know who started that per se. But in regards to digging into your personal, everything that I've heard them talk about in the context of you was pertinent to like publicly available shit that got leaked by other people.
Well, what does that? I mean, what does that mean? I mean, technically, all of the Cherry stuff is publicly available shit because Cherry posted that Gistical said that he was going to be her Dr. K. She posted that he forced her.
Yeah, I don't take issue. I don't take issue if you want to go with J-Stalk over the Cherry shit. I don't take issue with that. The only issue I don't think there was any reason to start posting disseminating his face and like personally identifiable information, right?
Do you think that somebody is entitled to be anonymous or private, no matter what they say or do about somebody for no matter how long of a time period?
It's less so about entitlement. It's more like under like a rule utility. Like I believe that if we were to just accept the tactic and its usage in like an individual instance, even if you believe it's respectively justified, I believe that introduces the usage of the tactic in the broader conflict and inevitably leads to unintended targets being justified as well.
It's like so obviously gay.
So to I guess answer your question there, it isn't really about that for me. It's not like about whether they're entitled to or not, right?
What would you do from my perspective if like, especially after the court case dropped, if every single person in my circle just kept being doxxed on Kiwi Farms and then everybody in Gistical and Queeman circle was just kind of like giggling about that?
I would unilaterally condemn this tactic, and if they were just laughing about that and you were never utilizing this tactic yourself, I think you'd have much greater like position to appeal to morality and make them look bad, right?
Well, I had that position for months, but it didn't really do anything for me, right?
Well, by the time they were involved with you at all, hadn't like there already been numerous instances of you being like either dox adjacent or like I brought this example up to you. Like I mean I don't know where you stand on it now, but like in regards to, like the telling people to go to Kiwi Farm shit, I know that like you wanted to give them like I think that is like dox adjacent to be like linked to or contributing to that site.
Let's assume even that was true, that 4 years or 5 or 6 years ago, however long ago, that was considered dox adjacent. That means that people have carte blanche to just dox me and my family forever.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
So then let's kick that behind. So let's say that
that was what I was trying to say.
Well, sure, but like I'm curious, like why do you think, from your perspective, from what you've heard from everything, why do you think I wanted to unmask, or I unmasked Gistical?
I think you're mad at him, very mad at him, and I think that's a good way to fuck with somebody in regards to it effectively fucks with
Why do you think I'm mad at him?
I think that he's.
I'll explain this. I'll explain this easily. Okay. Okay. So in my opinion, the reason why you can argue that it's justified for Steven to unmask these motherfuckers is because, again, Steven has so much more to lose, right? Steven has so much more to lose from these guys than the Snarkers ever will, right? So therefore, yeah, that's a good reason, right? Because it's like the risk is not equal, right? You're not risking the same thing. It's like if you're in Arc Raiders, someone brought like light shields and like a Stitcher, and then their teammate brought heavy shields and like a legendary weapon. Okay, so in that case, like, doesn't it feel kind of unfair that they are not risking as much as you are, right? Like, this other motherfucker is risking so far less in terms of like currency than you are, okay, that you guys could both potentially lose, right? So why the fuck are you exactly, right? Like, that's the point I'm trying to get at right now. Okay, but yeah, been
like a super harsh critic of yours. He's like A-logged you. I'd probably be mad at someone that was A-logging me. It depends on, I guess, the nature of it. Seems like a lot of the I just personally have always found coverage of you in regards to A-logs. Not that I disagree with that, I just found it boring, so I wasn't necessarily like super engaged.
Sure. Well, I think if the doxing is going to be as big of a deal, like, isn't it kind of important to know, like, what do you think I would say why I doxed Gistical or unmasked Gistical?
You probably have some justification due to something he said or did that I don't know about. That would make it like super convoluted. I have to be in the weeds of it to know. I know you'd believe it was justified.
No, you don't know. It's a very, very easy explanation. Yeah.
Well, just for my edification, can you give us that argument now, Destiny? Because I'll be clear, I don't.
So I'm dating a girl at the time who had been dating a quasi-celebrity person. I don't want to get too deep into it, but this person has active following on a snowboard on Lolcow or whatever. But at the start of my court case, every single person in Gistical's server was obsessively trying to force every single person in my orbit to separate from me. Sometimes this is just done via anonymous accounts online. Other
Lalana.
times we see people that one stoner cognitively impaired chick Aiko, we see her messaging Hutch saying like, you need to separate from Destiny, he's whatever. Sometimes you see it posted on Kiwi Farms where they're saying this.
By the way, Aiden totally laughed at Aiko being mentioned as like the retarded stoner chick. Okay, just so you know. Okay, don't let that go. Okay.
Same message like, these guys need to get away from Destiny. And then on Discord server, because I was still dating this girl at the time, and she's not really a public person, but they wanted her to make a public statement separating from me on Twitter. As that wasn't happening, somebody called Kelly Jean in that server was cross-posting a whole bunch of stuff, rumors, and then pointing people towards this lolcow thread about the girl that I was currently dating. And there was no way to make them not do that or to get them to chill on that. And then they would also, at points, they can't directly link to the Kiwi Farms thread, but people would say things like, oh, like check out like post like 449 or 1449 or whatever for this. I can't link it, but like this is hilarious and blah blah blah. So all that behavior had been happening in Justicle's Discord, and they were all obviously fine with it. They were joking and memeing about it before I had ever posted anything about Justicle, like his docs information.
Did you warn him to stop before you posted?
Of course. Yeah, I've said a million times. Like I don't know why people are targeting my.
He said that because of the convo last night. I think you said the same exact thing. Like what?
Girlfriend at the time, she's not a public figure. This is kind of fucking insane.
What do you mean?
But the obsession was because she was one of the only people that hadn't made a strong public statement about me. They needed her to say something or break up with me. That was at least explicitly with Kelly. And I think others on the server were saying that it's crazy that this person hasn't broken up with Destiny yet. And so we're gonna keep posting from their lolcow thread and make fun of them and make fun of how they look and other stuff, explicit and unexplicit, about them. Yeah.
So Cowbunga Andy in my chat says Destiny's argument literally justifies doxing Wick with the same logic. Just real quick, I don't remember posting anyone's docs. I don't remember posting anyone's Kiwi Farm link threads. I don't remember targeting anyone for associating with anyone. Like, what do you mean, his argument? So as I understand your argument, Destiny, I don't know if I agree with it or not, but as I understand your argument, is that they were going after your girlfriend at the time, and they were pressuring her, trying to drive a wedge, posting her Kiwi Farm stuff, and you wanted them to stop. They wouldn't stop, so you started doxing Justicle. Is that an accurate?
Yeah. I guess also I forget this just because I don't care about the doxing shit, but also her docs was posted both on lolcow and on Kiwi Farms, which they kept referencing over and over again. But I mean, like there was no way that I could. Yeah. Go ahead.
So would you be a justice? Okay. So if you have people in your server that are actively engaged in, let's say, doxing behavior.
Oh, about Aiko? Yeah, he probably said that specifically because of what I said. Okay. Yep, true. Oh, hey, Steven is taking what I say seriously. Cool.
Behavior, or dox adjacent behavior, etc. Would you believe the server owner would therefore be a justifiable target? As like are you doing it as like I'm not sure if this is like a revenge thing for you or a utilitarian thing. Do you believe that's going to mitigate it or stop it? But is that like do you believe that's justified under that logic?
I guess what I try to think of is like what would I expect, and I would expect that. Yeah. So like for instance, if Justicle and them started posting like direct doxes of me in their Discord server, which he doesn't ever do directly, obviously for plausible deniability, but I'm not going to sit here and cry about him doxing me, of course, because I'm posting his shit, obviously. If people in my community were doing it and I'm sitting there watching it, I mean, more or less I have responsibility for what goes on in my chat and in my communities.
Was this about Aiko? No, I mean, no. Steven just made a comment about Aiko, how Aiko was like brain dead on weed and shit, and that was obviously because I introduced Steven to Aiko.
So that's why I aggressively ban people that do things that I don't think are acceptable there. Yeah, but
because I don't think Steven knew much about Aiko before that, and I don't think he still knows much about Aiko. But I basically told him, yeah, Aiko is like actually fucking brain dead. And it's like, okay.
But do you not realize? And by the way, I don't hold this. I'm just unilaterally saying, do not dox Wick. Like if you do, obviously I want nothing to do with you.
But hold on. Have you found out, by the way? Because we've been going on a while, and I know you've been concentrating on the conversation. But have you found out?
As I said before, I can look into it when streams are. I could probably, when I actually go to look into it, I could probably give you an answer by the end of the day. I'd have to look into it, right? I actually do not remember. I'm not vested in I'm defending arguments here.
Friends don't introduce friends to Aiko streams foods. Well, yeah, that's why Steven is not my friend.
I'm not somebody that feels so linked to other people.
You called on the community to rally around to
because because
are you still doing that? Do you stand by that?
If Destiny disseminates what I believe to be a lie, I will absolutely call for people to go and combat it. Yes.
Stop mentioning Aiko. She doesn't deserve the acknowledgement. She smoked herself dumb. It's unfair. I love poking fun at these motherfuckers. Are you kidding me? I love naming them.
Hello.
It wouldn't be a Foodshops stream if I didn't mention like a fucking 10 viewer Andy who is an anti-fan. Okay.
I just want to run down this thing, and then you can do your thing, just real quick. Yeah. So like, what do you think? What should I do at that point? I guess if you're in my perspective, do you think that that's like over the line or over the threshold of me feeling like I don't know? I guess I just have to start like unmasking people on that server if they're going to be cross-posting and referencing like active KF threads about my girlfriend, active lolcow threads about my girlfriend. They also have all my doxes and shit posted there. But at that point, everybody fucking doxed on my side anyway.
You should talk about it and how like if you applied like moral pressure to the people around them over that and weren't engaging those acts yourself to stick by their standards and cut them. I wouldn't even be against that, right?
Yeah, but on their side, they're convinced that I'm basically like a fucking serial woman abuser, so everything against me is justified. That's their perspective.
Okay, but it seems like both sides are using that. People from Wick's retweeting stuff that from an account trying to paint me as a wannabe murderer, right? Because I made an edgy joke in private.
Real quick, because people do this both sides thing. If I were to drop everything about these communities, do you think they would continue to obsessively post and talk about me?
If what you post actively combats any instance of like significant wrongdoing that they have been accusing you of, then I think that they obviously should. Will they? No, because I understand that at this point there's like going to be like a sunk cost fallacy, and some of these people are probably going to, if you completely refuted it, there would absolutely be some people that would still sit there and insist that it was women. But I think in regards to the people that I associate with, like Queeman or whatever, if you actively like
gotta make their deep lore digs, yeah, that's correct. Yes. Yeah, because even if you failed, even if you fail that content creation, if you're trying to get your content creation back up by being malicious and being evil, yeah, I'm gonna call you out. Fuck you.
Feed it a story. And it's
Like if you failed that content creation before, I'm not gonna let you like succeed, like back up just because like just because you're doing something that you think is going to work or whatever the fuck. Okay. If you're already in the coffin, then I'm bringing the hammer and the nail. Okay.
entirety with the evidence you presented, I think you would drop it.
Okay, so I feel like the issue that I always run into with people saying on both sides is that like since the end of 2023, I don't care much for this style of content. I'm not even judging it. I did a lot of it in the past. I'm not here to say like, oh, I'm above it. I just don't have as much of an interest in it anymore. I want to do more like politically adjacent stuff. That's kind of where my interest is. But these people seem to only engage in this like obsessive style of content about me for months or years. And I don't know from my perspective, like you can talk about moral high ground, but if every single person about me or around me is getting consistently doxxed by all these places that these people still like link to and talk about and giggle about constantly, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that circumstance other than just start telling people like, hey, if we do an event together, if you're ever on my stream, like people are just going to start doxing, harassing you until you leave. I don't know what I'm supposed to do at that point. And I think it also says something that fear that I just gave, it doesn't really exist in these other communities. It's like a thing that only they do.
What do you mean in regards to the fear of like people like the fear of people doxing if you talk to them or whatever?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, I guess I would dispute the notion that all the people threatening the doxing are coming from one given community. I think you have a broad range of different groups of people that hate.
Oh my god, he's obviously referring to like the rebellion, right? The resistance or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Maquis, right? Like obviously he's not referring to one unified community under one streamer. He's not referring to that. He's referring to the collection of individual terrorist cells that in the end formed the Maquis, right? Like that's what he's referring to. Sorry, I Star Trek. No one gets it. Okay, I'm like the only Star Trek fan. Okay, but
for a variety of reasons, obviously you have opposition from the right. Obviously there are a lot of
people.
I
understand that, but like, wait, what's the equivalent position on the right, or where are these communities of these people that dox me on the right? I've never heard of these communities before.
Well, obviously the thing about Kiwi Farms is, and I agree, a lot of the accounts that engage in doxing are like nameless and faceless, so we wouldn't necessarily know.
Aiden is the human pretzel. Thank you.
From where? But in regards to like those accounts or whatever, I'd imagine that some of the people contributing to the thread probably have gripes with you that predate coverage by people like.
I'm not talking about, just to be clear, I'm not talking about people that have gripes with me. I don't care if people criticize me or anything.
Well, they contribute to your thread, right? Is it only like, did your thread only? When was your thread like created? I feel like this predates Queeman and J-Stock.
Probably like a decade ago. But
yeah. So
I'm saying that like Queeman made video, like even when I got divorced from Melina, which was before any court case, like Queeman is making video after video. I think dozens of videos about like my divorce and how epic and based it was. You had when my messages between me and Lauren Southern were leaked, President Sunday did like a dramatic reading of them and thought it was epic and based, and he was begging that solo guy for more DMs that he could read. Queeman and them had that solo guy was still active in Queeman's community for a week or two after he leaked all my shit and everybody else's stuff on Kiwi Farms. Nobody seemed to care. Like
active in his community was, what do you mean?
Like chatting in his Twitch chat and chatting in his Discord.
Oh, in his Twitch chat? I mean, I don't know if
his Discord.
Oh, sorry. No, you're right. Yeah, in his Discord. If that's true, I think after Solo distributed the leaks of you, should have been absolutely banned when it was confirmed that.
Sure, but I'm not talking about like what should have done or what shouldn't have done. But like, what do you think it says about the attitude in these communities if like that guy?
Wait, didn't he offer Queeman? I could be misremembering this. Didn't he make an offer to Queeman or something to give him, and Queeman refused it?
For what?
I feel like I don't know if that rings a bell. I swear this happened. I could be totally off on this.
When he tried to blackmail me, he said he wanted to come on my stream to chat, and then he wouldn't release anything else about me.
No, I feel like this was a DM exchange. I guess I can't.
Did Queeman do that?
What?
The blackmail you?
We're talking about Solo.
We're talking about someone else.
Solo did. The Solo.
Okay, I got mixed up. Fair enough. Yep. Solo blackmailed you.
Do you remember the date of my leaks? It was in what's the 11th month? November 24th, right?
Yeah, I remember.
The principal is Destiny bad? Yeah, duh. Any Destiny haters in the chat tonight? We are all Destiny haters on this blessed day.
Around that time, it was near New Year's.
I guess I have other messages on to fucking do all this, but like this guy was still active in Queeman's community, talking to my good friend Ryle Kittenhouse in there. I just had to you can show us your map, but that's from December 2nd, so I think it was like a week after.
So I can read this?
Sure, or you can show it on Snarker.
Okay. Let me show it on stream real quick. Hold on, easier. Hold on. Solo says, is J-Stock dating Cherry? Raul Kittenhouse says, Lamau. Solo says they sit in private VC all day together. Wild? Is that what you want to do?
Kind of funny that he knew that even way back then, that the Solo guy was watching the VCs enough that he could tell that they were dating. This was even before 2025. But
interesting.
But that's kind of wild, right?
It is a little weird.
And everybody knew that this guy was leaking my shit because he was also in the DMs with President Sunday, who was like begging him for more information as well about me, which is also kind of crazy, right?
In regards to President Sunday leaking more shit about you in communication with Solo.
That President Sunday is in DMs with the Solo guy asking him for more leaks about me.
Yeah, that would be. I'd have to, once again, I don't know if there's any context there that would mitigate that, but as you've just described it.
Oh fuck, are we able to even finish this? Yo, I don't even think we're able to finish this.
That sounds pretty bad, sure.
Oh shit, where's a good cutoff point for this shit?
Once again, I'm admitting.
No, it's probably a good thing I couldn't finish this. Fuck it. No, it's probably a good thing I couldn't finish this because I think that enough shit is on my editor's plates. Like my editors have like a huge fucking backlog of videos that they need to do. Yeah, they have a huge backlog of videos they need to do. So it's probably good. It's probably good that like we don't even make even one segment today, probably, in my opinion. In my opinion. Okay, in my opinion, but
like totally out of my territory. I'm like all the weeds like your
Yeah, so I guess I asked you earlier, but you kind of
just as a quick thing, I believe you actually. I don't think that you're hiding or lying about anything. But I guess like the thing that is kind of
he is. He most likely knows about the Mantis drama thing. And he just brought up how Mantis was like, even though they were literally passing around her nudes in the background. Yeah, no, right? Like this is obviously ridiculous. It's obviously stupid, right? Yeah. So no, this is like obviously stupid as shit, right?
weird to me about all of the stories that circulate about me is it's kind of frustrating that people are like, oh, why Destiny dox this guy? It's like, why? It's like, because he hates being criticized. It's like, well, no, I think it's because there's like a ton of insane fucked up shit that is happening in these communities that these communities like seem to be bragging about being a part of. And it seems like the only thing that all these communities are obsessed with is like trying to destroy me like as much as humanly fucking possible. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like there's nothing. I guess there's evidence of this. I don't think there's anything bad in this. You can read this one on stream, I guess, if you want. Because after Solo was leaking all my shit, he was DMing me and chatting with me. But like that's kind of crazy that President Sunday is just like mining this guy for information about me. Like, what the fuck am I like? How am I supposed to? You can pose this one too, I guess, if you want. Careful, because at some point he starts sending President Sunday like giant black dicks. I don't think it's on this combo. So
okay.
These two are safe. These two are safe.
Okay. Give me a second.
Do you not think that if you're personally doxed, like from the perspective of the utility of it, right? Even if we're to admit that there is justifiable, which I don't personally believe, right? That's different standards. If you believe there's justifiable instances of doxing, would it not give like the people that have like the that really especially hate you, would it not further motivate them personally to continue to try to like if we're assuming they were trying to dig in this manner in the
your counterpoints video that says he haunts me in quotes and shows a gold-like picture of Connor made me lol. Wait, wait. Is it the editing? Because I don't edit the videos, but it could be Macabeth that's editing it and him having good laughs.
first place?
Well, no, there we are. There's the thing that's hard to express. Like these people are already trying to do the maximal amount of whatever they can at any point in time.
Yeah, let me read these. Solo says, then did the second leak the next day? Do you plan on just ignoring it all? Seems like it's working for now, but might hinder you in the future. Destiny says, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm also not sure if it's the wisest to share how I deal with it all with the person trying to maximize the interest on it, smiley face. Solo again. To be fair, I could have leaked much worse if I only cared about interest. But leaking the super intimate stuff is cringe. Destiny says, I mean, I feel like that's kind of what got leaked, no?
If you pull a gun against the people shooting at you, wouldn't that encourage them more? Yeah, exactly. Such a stupid argument. Fuck
So
me.
it says, I mean, the images video specifically. Destiny. Oh, Well, I mean, I guess I appreciate that, I think. Although I thought I heard people talking about my dick. So who knows?
So
LOL.
stupid, bro.
Are you the guy's dick that Rose sent me that was supposedly her boyfriend? Solo says, ha ha ha, that's not my penis, no. Good question, though. Destiny, smiley face. Solo, when's my unban from DGG Discord coming down the pipeline? Destiny says, we'll see, smiley face. Solo says, better to have me in there on account. You can track that in alt. And then Solo posts a message between him and President Sunday, where President Sunday is, again, digging for information, there's news exchange with Fuentes. Solo says, I'm not sure. President Sunday, perhaps you could censor them enough that they're not identifiable, but not so much that you can't tell what they are, like a big black square in the center, or blurring them. Don't send as such, but keep that entertainment in case it matters. And Solo calls him retarded. Side note, true. President Sunday, very retarded. But yeah, that's pretty bad.
Is that the first and second one, or is there a second?
There's a second. Hold on. President Sunday, off the record. Are you Rose? That won't leave this convo. It just helps me understand the level of carefulness I need to treat these with. You as a source. Destiny says he wants them. Solo. Did Rose, and this is an exchange between President Sunday and Solo. President Sunday says, did Rose and Destiny have a voice call? Solo says, yeah, I have recordings of the call that she made back then, but they're deep in my chats with.
Are we sure Solo isn't Queenman? Yeah, they're absolutely not the same person. No, because I know what both look like. They don't look even close to one another.
From like 2 years ago. President Sunday, be careful with those. Florida is a two-party consent state. Solo says, it's okay, I live in Russia, so no way for me to get penalized. President Sunday, but if you have recordings of calls with Fuentes by Steven,
That's a lot.
or any such calls, provided they don't contain anything that could constitute revenge, I am very interested. And then President Sunday quotes or replies to him saying he's living in Russia, saying interesting. Solo says he thinks he's unraveling the puzzle. Destiny says not the Russians. Solo says I'm just going to send him a black cock. And then here's more exchanges between President Sunday and Solo. President Sunday says everything pertaining to Fuentes, Lauren, etc. Emphasis on.
I don't think Sunday is stupid or retarded. Sunday is actively malicious. Okay, that's my professional reading on Sunday. I've said this again and again and again. Okay, like if he was among the Snarkers, which in my opinion he is, he would be among the top. However, he is just simply siding with Logic this time and not with Queenman and J-Stalk. Okay, so even though he is among like the people who plan out shit like this, in my opinion, like he doesn't always align with them. Okay, so he isn't always falling in line, but I think he falls in line behind Chud rather than Queenman. But yeah.
Big name figures with political significance. Maybe Brianna Wu, though I don't really give a shit about.
Sunday was instrumental in starting all this. Well, yes, that's correct.
Solo says, who else is of interest to you? I can search the DMs for mentions. President Sunday says, Tim.
Like Sunday's unhinged snarking of woman specifically in Steven's community is particularly of interest, in my opinion. Like that especially to me is pretty heinous.
Cool. Lauren Chen, Jordan Peterson. Let me think. So it says Ben Shapiro, President Sunday. Oh, Candace Owens, Max, Mr. Girl. Dan Saltman is mentioned a lot. Not sure if that's of interest. President Sunday. It is. Solo, and here's 2 more. President Sunday says, please, Fresh and Fit would be good to hear about as well. And I can't tell what this one is, but something from President Sunday.
Yeah, wait, and then just wait 2 real quick ones, and then it's not, these are like 1 sentences each. These are just Kelly Jean chatting about.
Well, before we go to Kelly Jean, can I?
Oh, is this what triggered? Is this what triggered Kelly Jean's crash out right now? At the moment, right now.
That's a quick question. Yeah. I don't remember if it was you specifically or it was Dan. Somebody at that point. Obviously, I know your beef with Sundays has been. It's like years of lore, right? But I remember explicitly. I think it was well before. I think it was before the leaks happened and everything. Was his docs not read out by? It was either you or Dan. Were you the one that read out his docs?
For President Sunday?
Yeah.
I don't remember prior to this.
Okay. Had he been doxxed by somebody in your space at that point?
He might have.
Kelly Jean is the crash out. No, Kelly Jean is just she's a queen. Okay, no one can control her. Okay, she's like the Hulk. Her secret is she's always crashing out.
But this might have been in the feud between him and Kyla.
Well, I swear I can remember. I feel like you did it on a.
Or always being a mean girl and making snarky comments while also saying that she's trying to defend women. Yeah.
On a J-Stock stream. I feel like I explicitly remember that.
It might have been, I don't remember. It's possible that in relation to that. But again, it's also kind of interesting that that was how many years ago, and how do you know that?
Because I remember because I was beefing with this guy called Westside Tyler who had also.
Westside Tyler is a lefty who hates Destiny, yeah. But the reason why they snark on Westside Tyler is just primarily because President Sunday is views him as competition. That is the reason why they snark on Westside Tyler. But Westside Tyler is basically this Vosh adjacent person. Yeah. But yeah, Westside Tyler kind of operates the space between Vosh and Destiny, right in the middle. And yeah, he doesn't really pass by here too often. But basically, yeah, he also hates Destiny. But at the same time, I think President Sunday views him as competition, obviously, because they're trying to occupy that same space. Okay, but yeah.
Read out his docs, and I wanted to figure. Or someone had told me that originated on a J-Stock stream.
Okay, it's a little bit. It's interesting. Selectively, you seem to know every single.
Oh no, I know bits, right? When I was personally
but all the bits you know are only the bits that are against me, but you don't know anything from my side.
Isn't it crazy how much shit I know about everything? Isn't it crazy how smart I am about everything? Makes you really think, huh? It's almost as if I was a snarker.
Totally will. I'm
sorry, when I say that, I'm not accusing you of being bad faith. I'm just saying that it's pretty obvious that the information only seems to be flowing one way.
Well, yeah,
and
but
and then these are 2 quick things from Kelly. Just
you be getting cooked by schizoid caller right now? Oh my god, what I would give to see that.
These servers. I'm just saying these servers.
That's why I got it in stream. Okay. In stream in 5 more minutes.
This is her referencing Kiwi Farms comments that were being posted.
Because I want to end stream right before Stardust begins going ham on Aiden and gaping his body.
And at this point, Vlad was going through pick by pick to figure out where my girlfriend at the time lived. Going to the backgrounds of all of her pictures, trying to post the inside of her apartment or houses, and then linking images from other sites. This was Kelly and one.
You're like the detective in Knives Out. I don't think I'm that smart.
Comment, and then there's a second DM I sent. I wish I could post this pic that was posted on KF.
So Kelly says,
say things like, oh god.
Yeah, Kelly says, honestly, I wish I could post a pic that was posted on Kiwi Farms. It was so funny, LOL. And the next one is from Kelly Jean as well. It's on Kiwi Farms Lamau, but I assume it's his last stream. The embargo for no Kiwi Farms screen caps is still on, I think. Otherwise, it's on page 1399.
They openly acknowledge it too, man.
If we introduce this as a justifiable tactic and use your own respective justification for situations where you do it or it's engaged in, right? Couldn't someone like Sunday then come around and believe that him digging into your shit, which I don't think it is, by the way, but couldn't he then come around and try to claim that in his case it was justifiable because it met a set of given criterion because you would
understand? I understand this information gets asked so many times, but do you not understand that they already are? There is no line for me for any of these people. So Sunday, this is a person that solo guy had been leaking shit about me already, and Sunday is mining this guy for information for more humiliating shit that he can get about me.
Because this guy despises you with a passion, obviously.
Wait. But is that justified?
No, I think
so if he's already doing unjustified things to get as much unhinged personal.
What are you talking about? You're Chinese too, right? I'm only 25%, but every bit helps. So what do you mean?
Information about me is possible to humiliate me or attack me. What else? What do I even worry about? It's not like they're going to do anything more to me. They already are.
Call them out for it, criticize them for it.
Nobody cares.
I mean, people
are criticizing or fighting with these people.
Go ahead.
And then just as a last thing, that's you can have your thing. Have you heard of the term TDD, total destiny death, or total destiny destruction? What do you think that means when they were saying that back early on when the leak started?
They
unfortunately, yeah, but I don't really quite get what you're.
We're happy to see you fall because they believe that.
No, they were actively contributing to it. They wanted to participate in that. That was the goal.
I don't think that's necessarily what that means, right? I think that's
hold on. With the context that we have now.
So quick.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm gonna be so quick. My bird is sick. I would like to get back to him. He's.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop right here because I want to cover Stardust going ham. Okay, on Aiden. Oh my God, how many things? I've only finished halfway, but then I don't get to finish the rest of the way because I swear to God I want to finish other shit. Fuck.